Guys, guess what?
What?
We got one!
Yeah, buddy.
And it's a big one.
This is a big one. I didn't realize how big this one when I heard it dropped, but this one is huge. As
Former Trump spiritual advisor and megachurch church pastor admits to essay of a 12-year-old girl. And we get this lovely photo of him just being taken away by the cops here.
Hey, is that a trans woman?
Wait, let me see. It doesn't appear to be. Maybe it is. The founder of Texas megachurch, who resigned last year after a woman in Oklahoma accused the pastor of sexually abusing her in the 1980s, pleaded guilty. Robert Preston Morris doesn't seem like a trans woman.
No.
I think it's not.
A drag queen?
Wait, drag queen?
No.
I don't think he would make it in the field. I don't think he'd do very well, honestly, if he did try. So no, I'm gonna say no.
Huh? Weird.
It's always who you always expect.
Yeah. The Petonomicon has many names.
Robert Preston Morris, 64. Jesus Christ. So this is from the 80s, man. And this is, I guess I'm glad that Texas has whatever statute of limitations they've enacted or whatever that allow this to still be prosecuted, because it's from the 80s. There are more people playing white supremacists in Hollywood than there are white supremacists. That's interesting. That's an interesting thing to say. Of course, she's a mud shark, because in the show she's married to a black guy, and I'm going to take that that's some kind of racist.
Jesus Christ.
Jew slop. So two terms I heard today. I learned mud shark and Jew slop. That's fun. Right. Yeah. I mean, the irony of just being like, oh man, these Jews are lying to you. There's no fucking white supremacists. This is more Jew slop. Yeah. It's like, oh, for those that aren't aware, I do live in Portland, Oregon.
Are you under siege?
Yeah, well, I mean, with that in mind, I just wanted to play this very quick clip here.
There's a reason why you separate military and the police. One fights the enemy of the state. The other serves and protects the people. When the military becomes both, then the enemies of the state tend to become the people.
And with that in mind, I present ICE and federal troops, I guess, National Guard in D.C., standing around looking for something to do. Suddenly, they spot a brown guy on a bike. Tax dollars at work, folks.
When the military becomes both, then the enemies of the state tend to become the people.
By the way, did everybody catch the picture, the leaked image of the Earth 2 Superman from Peacemaker? Here we go. Spoiler.
I already got it.
All right, you assholes.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hello, it's just me. Also, this guy. Hey,
what's up?
Portland is its own thing, man. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I have photos from 5 years ago during the 2020 the summer. That summer, we got a little stuff popping off over here, and there was a woman who just was butt ass naked, and she was pretty attractive. Who just went out into the street, faced down like a street, like down the street was just a bunch of cops and shit, and just sat down on the street with her legs spread open, just stared at him. Just like,
what?
It's a pretty powerful image. I don't know if I can show it, but yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, it's like she became known as I think, I mean, like, it's just that the one picture I have is just the top of her butt. I could probably get away with that, but I don't want to risk it. So, yeah, it was still just like only in Portland, man. Would that be something that somebody would think to do? Turns out she's a performance artist, like in her life, so that makes sense. But yeah, this time we get Frog. So, yeah, here we are. How's it going? How's everybody's week so far? Eric?
Busy for me. I had a concert I had to go work for last night. I work tonight. Tomorrow we're doing D&D. Friday I work and I have my stream tomorrow night. And Saturday I'm doing a wedding all day for a friend, and then I work Saturday night. So it's a busy week for me. So
You're a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff going on.
and I have a Jester Bell video coming out in a little bit. So it's an hour long.
All that and time to fuck with Jester Bell's dumbass. Okay. Impressive, sir. Impressive.
Yeah, you know. Also, I hit 7K subs. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw
you hit 8K too. So
you're coming for the crown, man. I see you. I was thinking maybe we should do like just a debate thing or something. I don't know, for no reason.
maybe
That was something I wanted to look into doing a while back. Was just like friendly debates where, like, you know, they used to do like those movie fights and stuff. But
yeah.
I don't know. Might be kind of lame and hack, but who knows?
I see somebody mention the quote about Trump and free speech. There's a clip going around from C-SPAN. I don't know what the rest of the quote is. I'm trying to find it, but it's like it keeps getting cut off at the end.
I haven't heard it yet. We're about to watch it, but for what I've seen when people brought it up, I'm like, that seems like maybe he just misspoke, or said something.
Well, look, I don't, I pretty much hate Trump, but it feels like the quote is being cut at a weird spot. So I want to see what the whole quote is.
Well, I'm going to watch the contextless one real quick. So just keep that in mind. No context whatsoever.
A flag burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But
no, this is the one with
what
context.
has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates.
So,
Okay,
if I'm being charitable, which I don't know why the fuck I would do this with this man at this point, but look, just so we can make some sense out of the world for 5 minutes. It seems like what he's trying to say, and he's very stupid, and he has, a syphilitic brain, late stage syphilis, whatever it is. And what he's trying to say is that they removed the freedom of speech from that particular thing.
Yeah, yes.
Burning the flag.
I'm getting an echo. Is that
shit? Is that me? Maybe I'm too loud. Maybe I need to put on my headphones.
No. It sounds like it's coming through another source on your side.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Hold on. I'm gonna close all my tabs. Yeah. This is the only window I have open. I'm getting echo. You there? Hello?
Okay. Is it still there?
Hello. Yes. Nope. Let me come back in.
That is a very I appreciate the hell out of that attitude, Spooky Kitty. That's like you're going above and beyond as a viewer there. Now we can hear you, Eric, even though you're not here. Dun dun dun. I believe Chariot might be joining us. If so, I think she is. So this, but it is a big deal that we need to cover. So.
Yep. Okay, so I'm still getting the echo.
Damn.
Now I'm not getting it now.
I thought maybe I had the window open somewhere and I don't. I thought for sure it's my fault. YouTube isn't the only place participating in advance for this shit, by the way. Blueski is too. What is Blueski doing in YouTube?
I'm not sure what that means. Maybe in reference to the chariot stuff might be what that's
Echo gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do want to answer a question I saw up here. I think Dane and I have both been open to it at different times, but they either never show or I opened up a phone line, by the way, for debating. I've had 3 calls on it and all of them were spam, like people just leaving dumb messages. So that phone line is in every AMA video I make. I've never had any offers for that. I have a debate channel open in my Discord. Never had any people offer in there. I've gotten emails from people that say they're going to do it. I set up the streams. I invite them. I sit there for 15, 20 minutes. They don't show up and then I never hear back from them again.
That's exact. So you guys that have been watching my stuff for a long time might remember me and Little Movie Perp did this a couple of times, twice exactly, where we advertised the shit out of it for a week or more ahead of time. You know, like we're debating. All you people that show up in the comments and chat and you want to talk shit, now's your chance. You know, we will hear you out. Let's do it. The first time, nobody showed. Got a couple of messages, like you were saying, emails where some dude was talking shit in email and then just never showed up. And then the second time, 2 people showed up. I think both of those might be those clips would be on the Show Clips channel, maybe. One of them.
Look, I'm not a big fan of debate anyway because I don't think it does very much or whatever, but it is entertaining for people, and I understand that some people like it for that reason. And I'm very confident that I could probably smash any random person in debates about any of the topics I talk about, but they just never show up.
I always like the value of debate, would be that not that you're going to change that person's mind, or not that you're even going to change anybody's mind that's watching that doesn't agree with you already, but more that you can teach people that kind of of your same views how to argue better, basically. Right. You know what I mean? To see somebody, it's actually empowering to see someone out there arguing against bullshit. Yeah, and you haven't seen a lot of that before. So
there's a couple of debate channels I watch, and they made a statement over the week that's kind of slightly changed my mind on it a little bit. And they said that they were debating somebody that said, "Why are you debating people if it won't?" Oh, what is this? They ejected one of the original trans members who was super popular because he pointed out outside Charlie Kirk.
I've been seeing people complaining about it that it's basically becoming like Twitter. So
yeah,
I haven't experienced that personally, but that is shitty.
It's capitalism, baby. But I saw they were talking with another person they were debating against, and that person said, "Why do you do these debates if you don't think it's going to change people's minds?" And their response to that was, because it allows us to get information out there that is also entertaining. And I thought, It slightly changed my opinion about it, because I always assumed that the debate culture thing was about winning the debates.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people do it just because it's an entertaining way to provide factual information. And so now I'm like, I
think that the right did it for the period that they were really into it. And they were, they literally created the debate me bro, kind of mentality, that culture on the internet that just completely vanished almost overnight.
Yeah, it doesn't exist really anymore.
Because the whole point of it was never to exchange ideas. It was to just be able to put their propaganda and their talking points out there in settings that normally would not be allowed. So they go, hey man, don't you want to debate your ideas in the marketplace of ideas or whatever, that kind of false pretense shit. And then they get on somebody's channel and just say, yeah, man, but don't you think that maybe 1350 and also, great replacement and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've looked up, I've actually done a lot of like personal training for like doing debates, specifically because I was going to start opening the phone lines up. So a lot of my own personal training, like making sure I've got my topics remembered and things like that. And so, yeah, I'm leaning more towards like being a little more open to it. I don't know which channel this is, who this,
sorry, we got 3 channels going today. So let us know which one this is. And that person will respond probably.
But I do appreciate this, whichever person you're talking to. It's like, this is why we do this. So.
I didn't put us on, Organized Chaos isn't going to be here today for anybody wondering. And I didn't put us on his channel because it seems like his channel in particular, people get really frustrated if it's on his and he's not here. So, I don't know. Just to avoid any.
The weird thing is sketchy about the whole, because he made a comment about nerding out or whatever, is I do both things with my 2 channels, and I think I'm pretty successful at balancing the 2 things.
It's good balance.
Because I have people that come over and they only want to join the Nerdcast, which is almost like 90% just having fun with stuff. We do talk about Chud stuff, but it's not the primary topic. And then I have my own personal content and then the stuff we do over here on the Shillxcast. So I try to keep a good balance of it, which is why I find it funny when people come into my comment section. They're like, oh, you're just doing the same thing they're doing in reverse. Like, no, it's not the same content. It's not the same stuff.
To answer Ryan's question here, so this is actually super duper important. And to a degree, it's frustrating that I still have to say this and that I haven't said it enough and that we haven't kind of put this out there enough that you guys kind of automatically filter this content through this. But think of this as a filter. Everything you hear from Chuds on the internet, run it through this filter from now on. They're not actually mad, usually. The content creators in particular. They are using the thing as a wedge for their culture grift. It's not actually a culture war because it's like a war in the same way that, like, hey man, why did Ukraine start that war with Russia?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like that's a war, I guess, but it's kind of one-sided. It was started one-sided. It's all just talking points to frustrate people, to obfuscate the Epstein fucking files.
Release them right
Distractivism is what it is. Yeah. So like, yeah, don't take their arguments, at face value. Don't think they're serious. That goes back to the debate thing, right? Like Eric, for a long time, I thought, oh, I need to get good at debate because that's how we are gonna get our ideas, to win over blah blah blah. They didn't ever give a shit about that. They use rhetorical tactics. Charlie Kirk was the fucking epitome of this. Rhetorical tactics, bad faith, just like data, statistics, misrepresented and whatnot, in order to just get an optical gotcha or clickable fucking viral moment so that they could build influence on the internet. That's it. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they had done that enough, as soon as, then you had people like Vosh, Hassan, so, a lot of good debaters coming out of the left. And then pretty quickly after that, poof,
they were gone.
Kevin Spacey at the end of Usual Suspects, I'm gone. They're gone.
And I mean, I don't even like even Destiny and those guys. I don't think they're great people. Obviously, they've done some shitty stuff and they're caught up in controversy. But the reality is people outside of the right actually debate better because they provide evidence for their claims. They refute anything they're talking about. And if they're wrong about something, they typically admit that they're wrong about it, which is something you don't see from the podcast debate bros, on the right. So
yeah, that's always a fun one. In fact, let me show you this amazing comment I got. I've been posting pretty regularly about the Epstein files on my YouTube community posts, right?
Yeah.
So I had posted the other day when I thought of the word distractivism when I was watching your video, Eric. The whole that years ago canceled show. Right?
Yeah.
But this is just distractivism is all this is.
Yeah.
And so I posted about that. And this fucking guy commented and said, if I have it screenshotted here. But I was like, really, man? God damn it. He said something like, well, why didn't Joe Biden release them? And why do you only care now? And I was like, I cared then. I wish Joe Biden would have released them. What you got? You know what I mean?
I always respond with number one. That isn't answering the question. Why is Trump and the Republicans not releasing it? I don't care about what happened 2 years ago. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like, they ran on transparency. That was the reason why a lot of people voted for them. So holding them to that standard isn't strange. I don't think that Biden and Harris ever ran on releasing the Epstein files, right? That was never, I don't remember them ever running on it. Would I have preferred for them to release them? Yes, absolutely. I think all of this stuff should be public. But Trump, one of the things that people voted for him for was transparency. At least that's what they said. So if he's not releasing something or he's not being transparent about something, then that is a double standard. And they never want to answer that question. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in my comments, and I've responded to this many, many times, ever answer something that I asked them about Trump or this administration without but what about something Biden? And I'm like, I didn't like Biden either.
Yeah, this was the comment here. I posted distractivism. Libs of TikTok and Elon Musk whinging over a years ago canceled Netflix show that features a gay character under the pretense that it's grooming children while avoiding the topic of releasing the Epstein files, which would hold actual groomers and pedos accountable. Distractivism. And then got this comment, more distractivism. Why didn't Joe release files? Like, how do you know that I didn't care? I did care. I've always felt like I care about children being victims of fucking crimes, being harmed. Anybody really?
Did they ever respond to this?
Nope.
Of course not. I'm still getting echo, by the way.
God damn it. Let's see. Let me try and exit and come back and see what happens.
Okay. It's just us, everyone. I've taken over the Shillxcast. Dane is gone. Bob is gone. I am in complete control of the Shillxcast. Things are about to get very gay up in here, which, by the way, Dane had a bunch of stuff banked at the bottom of the screen that he was going to use. And when he left, all of that stuff disappeared. He's going to be so mad when he comes back. He's going to be so mad. Just saying. I feel so bad about that. I should have mentioned that before he jumped out. It's my fault, right? It's all on me. Let's see here. What do we got? We do have a super chat from King Ignacio's Noble Ocean for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Freaks and Gooners might be bad, but their Discord server is 110% toxic. I mean, their freaking Reddit is toxic. Their Facebook group is toxic. It's like NPCs running circles around J6 in 2020. The Fellowship needs real therapy. The only Reddit that I know full of like that kind of stuff, like opposite of that stuff, is like surprisingly the Mauler subreddit. They're actually not all shitbags in there. There is a little bit of standard in that Mauler subreddit. I hate to say that because
I've seen where not too long ago, Gramulio like responded to a conversation was happening kind of tangentially about him, and he said something. And he's like, he prefaced with, "Hey, you guys probably aren't going to like me being here, but generally everybody was like, no, man, I disagree with your takes, but you're cool. You're welcome here."
Yeah.
You know who else is welcome here? Terry.
Wow.
She has arrived
like a legend who has become manifest.
How is everybody? How are you two doing?
I was kind of taken aback there. So I exited the stream to kind of hopefully get rid of the echo. That happened or no? We good?
Well, also, I noticed you lost all of your save tabs too on the bottom of the screen. So.
It's all right. But then I happened to look
when you jumped out, I said he's going to be so annoyed when he comes back.
I got to know where it's all at. I happened to look over at Reddit, though, which is what took me a minute. And I saw this post about Endymion. Apparently, so the post says, I don't think it was possible, but it's gotten worse. How? Oh, okay, I misread it. My bad. So I thought they were saying that he said the N-word on Twitter.
Oh, Jesus.
They were saying how long until he does. Okay, that explains it. Because I was looking at the tweet and I'm like, I don't see where he says the N-word. But, he's a big piece of shit, so we'll see.
I mean, his take on Peacemaker was also really dumb. I did a whole video on that. So
his whole
I saw one of his posts. He seemed like he was going crazy.
That's the thing is they feel like they're winning right now. They think they're winning, people on the right, but they're really not. They're kind of like bumping up against reality a lot right now.
I actually saw an article, and it's come from two different places, that said keep up the pushback. They're actually slowing down and they're starting to lose things. Meaning like it's not the article was framing that Project 2025 has to happen before 2026. That's what's called Project 2025. If they don't get the majority of those things enacted before the end of the year, then it's going to be really hard for them to ever get them enacted. So it was a lot of positivity. We're seeing pushback. We're seeing some stuff crumble on the right. Everything is not as good as they think it is. This shutdown has been a disaster for them. The Epstein files has been a disaster for them. Trump trying to take away free speech has been a disaster. They've lost in all of that. Like all the things they've been trying recently have pretty much failed. Alligator Alcatraz got shut down. It's failure after failure after failure. So they're not they think they're winning, but in reality, we're seeing a lot of L's on their side.
Well, that's the thing. They have to constantly project the image that they are winning, right? Even when they're not. He's now quietly bailing out farmers, which I said 2 weeks ago. We talked about this. It's 2016 all over again. He's gonna bail out the farmers again, just like he did. So he is. We're sending money to another country with a libertarian president
because they completely failed in their economy. And then he held a concert, a rock concert, using the money that we just gave him.
I saw that.
So I have something I actually want to read that it pertains to this exactly. But first I need to change over to our new, at least for the month anyway, background. Let's see what you guys think of it. Boom.
I see what it is. Too funny.
Yeah, get this this whole thing set up here a little bit. There we go. There's that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Got a little Epstein.
Is that Jeffrey Epstein in the corner?
It is. It is. Yeah. He's reading the comments, so he can see that they want the Epstein files released. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but I think this was yesterday. They confirmed that in Florida he was given a deal. There was a deal made with him about like a leniency because of providing information. So all this stuff that there's no information is just it's all bullshit.
Was that in that congressional hearing?
I believe
that was
so.
Going on the other day. Yeah. I saw the Pam Bondi where she like was asked if those, because there was the one gentleman who had gone on the news and alleged, I can't remember his name, but he alleged that Epstein, after Trump was elected, had physically shown him printed photographs of Donald Trump with girls of a whatever he said, of a suspicious
young women. Yeah, that was the question.
I apologize, CJH. I don't know how you've been here before. You know how we do these shows. We don't only talk about the thing that is in the title of the video, but I guess we can go ahead and mention it. I was really just piggybacking off of Eric's recent video because I didn't have a very developed plan for the show today. So I was just kind of ripping.
The numbers are not looking good for these channels. I've gone through every month.
Uploaded over a month. That's insane.
Right. Yep.
He's focused on his little dumb MAGA channels or whatever. That's fine. You can do that.
But he's abandoned Geeks and Games. That channel is no longer doing uploads.
Of the fucking Chud world for the longest time.
Yeah.
It was a pillar of the terrible community.
I would love to see. I can't remember what show this was, but Matt Walsh actually went on like a news program at one point, and he was like talking to like real journalists, and they were just absolutely wiping the floor with him and making him look stupid. And at least he started his career trying to do political commentary. If a lot of these like grifter channels end up being forced into doing just politics stuff, if they ever rise to that level, they're going to get it just annihilated.
Well, because they're not smart enough to even do that level of
by these like quote unquote
content.
Mainstream journalists that they hate so much, who are actual professionals.
I'll give Griggs this compliment compared to the other guys. He's a smaller channel than Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker. However, he is, I guess, smart enough, if you want to say that. Because the eventual result of all this stuff, and it took me 5 years to realize it. I don't know why, but like I've said for 5 years, over 5 years, that the big part of what they do and have done is not just to shit in the fandom pool or whatever. It's also to radicalize people via that content to the right.
And now they've achieved what they wanted, and so they
were very fucking successful at it, and now people don't even care about the fan shit anymore.
We've talked about this though. We've discussed this in detail. That now they feel like a lot of them feel like they've achieved it. Like Melanie Mack abandoned her channel. She's doing gaming streams. Somebody in the chat here, I think it was Travis, said that he's doing streams. Yeah, he's streaming and political content. He's given up. Keep in mind, these guys used to upload 2 to 3 videos a day, every single day. He has completely stopped uploading content.
Well, I mean, so
completely stopped.
You've had enough, obviously. People that think they're stupid and liars. I mean, yeah, but like they've been abandoned by people that generally probably still agree with it. This stuff is woke and bad or whatever, but those people just don't care about culture shit at all. They've moved on. They're just strictly fucking mainlining politics shit. Politics, fucking, fake news and whatever.
Air July's for Canon's sake is a failure. He had to put it as members only because the numbers were so bad. I like the last couple of days I watched, he had like 250 people watching.
I saw, man. That's not great.
I took a screenshot of it just in case people wanted to call me a liar, but he had like 250 people watching. The numbers are so low that he made it a members only thing because that way you don't see the numbers. That's how bad it was. It's been a complete failure. And if you look at his most recent videos, if you go to his channel, you don't have to take my word for it. Look at the last like 7 or 8 videos he's done. I get more views on my videos than he does on average based on the numbers that he's showing right now. He has a video from yesterday that doesn't even have 2K views on it.
Yikes.
So there's definitely a shift. That's why when we say they're losing, they are. They were so big, it's going to take a longer amount of time to see that, how that downfall is going to look, but it is happening. The cohesiveness is gone. There's no message they're all attached to. They're not all on the same page. The only two channels that are sort of keeping that going are Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker. Those are the only ones because they both did Witcher videos. They've both done similar content. They're the only two.
Yeah, I mean, if you're subscribed to Nerdrotic, you'll fucking watch anything. That guy is like completely vapid. But I mean, the thing that's so interesting, and this is me kind of parroting what I think Will Menaker said this, but I really subscribe to this thesis that he put out, which is that like the issue for the political right in America right now is that winning political battles doesn't make people like you, and not being liked is actually kind of the thing that drives them crazy. The idea that they would get criticized by media and like lose the quote unquote culture war and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. The Star Wars Theory channel. Okay, the biggest Star Wars fan channel with 3.31 million subscribers has a video from 5 days ago with 7.4K views.
What?
There's a video from 6 days ago with 9K views. A video from 7 days ago with 8.5K views. Now, of course, there's a few in there. They're in like the 40, 30, 40K range. A channel with 3+ million subscribers should never have a video in like the less than 10K view range. Yeah, that should never happen.
That's a problem. And you know, like, it probably wouldn't have happened had he not attached himself to these fucking people. Griggs and Kennel and Nerdrotic and whatnot, right?
Oh,
like,
Star Wars Theory. That when you pointed this out to me, I think it was you that first pointed it out to me, Dane, that he was doing a lot more like streams with specifically like Mauler and Critical Drinker, I think.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm using one of your clips in a video that I'm working on that you might enjoy for next week. So little teaser there for some some elbow grease that Dane put into some Shillcast stuff. But yeah, I think you were the one who pointed this out to me. But it was like I did start noticing it once it was pointed out that like Star Wars Theory has made like a series of completely unforced errors. He did not have to do this.
No.
Bro was like rolling in the views. He was doing so well.
I mean, like he's the biggest channel out of the Chud channels he's aligned himself with. He's the biggest one.
Yeah.
So he had no reason to even connect with them. No reason. Like when I've talked about how rich people choose to be bigots, like they have an option. When you have 3 million subscribers and you decide to go on somebody's channel like Nerdrotics, you are choosing to do that. Like you don't have to do that. You're making that choice because you don't need Nerdrotic.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that's I think, and somebody in the Discord shared this where it was like that clip of that one young guy who was on like a live stream with Star Wars Theory once where he kind of like mildly criticized him.
Right. Oh my God.
Star Wars Theory acted like so disrespected and like he like had him apologize later on
because he went on a stream like right after that. Basically, he showed up and he was just so deferential to Star Wars Theory, and it was like, holy shit, dude, that was the mildest, literally just I don't know, man. It was actually great criticism. It was pointing out that he might be creating I think, toxic kind of segment of his fan base, which he obviously was. But
yeah,
I want to show you guys what a good old what's her name? Kaya has been up to. Libs of TikTok. Because apparently, going after that one show that was canceled a few years ago, she saw some success there, some attention, and she said, "Let's just go through Netflix's canceled or old shows and start fucking, raising alarms for anything that has, a hint of a queer character."
This is so goofy in like a post cuties Netflix landscape. Like,
so did they ever go back to Netflix? That's the thing. I thought they were already boycotting Netflix. So they were, and then they went back again, and now they're boycotting it again. I don't understand.
She's just laid up on the couch in fucking transvestigator mode, just scrolling through the fucking archive on Netflix. That's all she's doing. That's what her job is right now.
One hand under the desk.
Yep.
Just talking about trans people.
Oh, look, they're grooming again.
Well, is this an indication that all of this shit is running out of steam?
Yeah. No, it's a big indication of that. Like, trolling through old Netflix shows is desperation. It's literally desperation, because you would have to show me the harm that these things have caused since they've been off the air, and there isn't any. Like nothing changed. All of a sudden, introducing this would be like the Streisand effect. So it's basically telling people, hey, these things exist. You can go watch them if you want or whatever. But outside of that, no one knew, and there's no new media for them to complain about. So
fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these people have gotten screwed over I've been keeping an eye on like the video games discourses. And these people have gotten so screwed because Borderlands 4 did not have like anything that they could construe as woke at all. They got completely screwed. There was nothing there for them. They tried initially, I think a couple channels tried doing some content, but it was just about like the Gearbox CEO being mean on Twitter, and it didn't really take off that much. Whereas like the upcoming Fable and Witcher games were all pushed into 2025, and so is the new 2026. The Witcher 4 might actually be later than that. I think it might actually be 2027.
And they're going hard on Witcher because there's really not a lot else right now. So
they're just trying to do it's just the Cavill discourse again. Yeah. Oh, they don't care about the real fans. They let Henry Cavill go. Blah, blah,
Y'all
blah.
want to know how bad the Comicsgate grift is on YouTube? I'm about to blow it.
It's bad. It's bad.
This is bad. Look at this. This is a new video.
Yeah.
Yikes. Holy shit.
But look, 39,000
What year is it?
39,000 views to hear somebody complaining about something that's been complained about ad nauseum.
Like, never came out.
Yeah, it never came out.
Never was printed in a comic book for anybody to buy. That's the craziest shit to me, is that this was ever a thing. And you basically you brand yourself as a chud who's just grifting off of what you think is true anytime you reference this kind of shit.
I also want to point out that the reason why it didn't come out is it was almost universally disliked. Like, most people thought it was just a dumb idea in general. Like, it had nothing to do with them getting upset that the Chuds didn't like it. It just was not well received by the vast majority of people that saw it.
Like, honestly, if there was any will to do so, we could have come together as a people at that moment. And like,
wasn't this like pre-COVID that this first got teased?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, COVID was a convenient reason for them to never put it out, because they didn't put out a lot of comic books that year. But yeah, it was announced right before that, and they thought they had something. Marvel. It was like no.
All of these things that they claim they don't want Marvel to make, they secretly do, because if this actually would have been a comic book, they would have had tons of content to make about it. Which is why a lot of them are mad that Savant is not coming out, because I think that Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and a lot of those channels were waiting on bated breath for that show to get released.
They would have loved a season 2 of The Acolyte.
That's what
they
I
were
was just
so
thinking.
mad that got canceled.
Like, they were surprised by that. That maybe they were like, "Wait, what?"
Well, they keep making videos about it.
As much as I hate it, I would say like bleed them out. Everything they complain about, just take off the air for a couple years and watch their channels just disappear. You know
well, that's the thing about the Savant, though, because it's an Apple TV show, and to be fair, Apple, not everything's a hit, but everything's at least reasonable. They've not had any stinkers. And this type of show is exactly the sort of thing that they do well. So I think they actually are lucky that it didn't come out, because I think it would have embarrassed them, because it's just sort of one of those.
Yeah, I can't think of an Apple TV show that was a complete and utter turd. Like, almost all of them are at least at the decent range. You know what I mean?
Well, if I really didn't think it wasn't even like my cup of tea as far as like the type of story, but it was still really well made. You know what I mean?
Well, to prove the point, what shows on Apple TV have they been able to woke spot up till now? None. So
yeah, that's true. We got a comment about Mauler. You see that? Roger here. I don't know what NOK is. Does anybody know what currency that is? Not sure. 50 NOK,
$50
guess.
mystery dollars.
Yeah. Well, based on the teal, it's probably equivalent around $4 or $5. Hi, new subscriber here. Star Wars Theory's ego got the better of him, I'm afraid, but I would like to hear your opinion on Mauler. How much time do you have, Roger? Like,
I'll say this. I'm making a couple more videos for this month, and then I think I'm gonna wait a little bit because I've been doing this thing where I'll make something really big about like the anti-woke crowd, and then I kind of walk away from it for a while because you can only say so much until like something new develops. And then I'll go back and I'll write another thing about it later on, which is what I'm doing right now. After this, I'll probably wait again, and I might not do anything with it until, you know, next spring or next summer. Who knows? You know, we'll see how things develop. But eventually, if those videos get a lot of views, I will consider doing a full response video to Mauler's Dark Souls 2 series, which is about 12 hours.
Wow.
I've had it in my back pocket for a while, and I will at length respond to everything in it. I'm not kidding, and I mean not like moment to moment like react, but like I will watch the whole thing. I'll synthesize his ideas. I'll make like a structured video, which he doesn't seem capable of doing, and I'll kind of draw things out and
a 24-hour video. Young Writer says 24 hours, please.
I think I could make it shorter than his original series by kind of cutting out like any time he repeats himself, which he does a lot in those particular videos.
I will say a lot of fans of Mauler are sort of getting sour on him associating with like Critical Drinker and As in them. Like I see it a lot in his subreddit where people are asking why he even bothers to show up on those streams anymore, because it's just screaming about woke. And a lot of them believe that Mauler is more intellectual than that, and he doesn't need to be there. But then a lot of people defend it and say, well, Mauler is friends with those guys, and that's why he shows up there. But I will say, when you get to a certain level, and because we're seeing a lot of the Chuds like sort of doing this mutilation of this cannibalism of each other in the space, because the numbers are low, so the drama is being sort of pushed between the channels and things like that. At a certain point, he's going to have to make a decision to stay or go. I think that's really what it's going to be. So,
well, maybe he'll have like he'll launder it for content to kind of solve two birds with one stone, right? I mean, one of the times that I've genuinely like, not in any like viewership or financial sense, but like I've genuinely emotionally supported Mauler was when he was arguing with Doomer Media on EFAP. He's had his moments where I've kind of felt like this is, I don't know if I'd say intellectual, but this is somebody who has principles that when somebody else runs afoul of them, like that As clip where he's there's one I think with Gary of Nerdrotic where he's talking absolute shit and Mauler's trying to explain something to him and he just does not give a shit. I think Mauler cares, and I think that he seems like he's invested in this stuff in a kind of genuine way that some of the other guys aren't. And I do respect that on some kind of fundamental level, you know, in the way that like a cop respects like a more well-to-do mafioso, you know, like, oh man, you know,
I think
at least these guys, you know, they follow the rules. They had a code of honor.
For me, my opinion changed based on the last video that Ant did about him. And I really do feel pity for him now, because I think Ant nailed it spot on. He is absolutely just stuck in this rut of, he decided that there is only one way to review films, and which happens to be the only way he knows how to do it, which is to forensically nitpick stuff that really doesn't matter generally, or is explained in a way that he doesn't understand. And that's all he can do. There's no growth there. He's not grown at all as a reviewer, and so I do feel pity for him, because I mean it's taken a long time, but eventually people will get bored of that.
The stagnation of the content,
and as his audience grows up, like if he's encouraging his young audience to like learn about film, the more they learn, the quicker they will outgrow him, because the more they will learn that he's absolutely full of shit. Basically, But I mean, if you want an example of that, they covered Superman again recently,
Really?
They fapped Superman again.
Oh yeah, you said I remember now. Yeah, you pointed this out. Running out of ideas they are.
They're
Really
greatest hits already, revisiting something already. I mean, it's only been a month and a half.
Just re-upload the old videos. Fuck, like.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fact that the box office proved them wrong, because they were all claiming on that one stream that it wouldn't break 600, and they had no chance of getting there, and the final figures were over 600, and then it did really well on streaming, and so I think they thought they'd have another bite of the cherry. Now that, I mean, a film so popular that they have to critique it twice to tell people how popular it isn't seems like a loss.
Years. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Anybody that claims being Buffy Vampire Slayer fan is just going to be legit on that. And I know this because I am one.
Yeah.
Nobody's just going to run around claiming that's a cool show unless they actually think it's cool.
Yeah, it's made by Joss Whedon, right? So that's like, and even like the writing style is kind of like everything that a lot of these guys, and to be honest, they're sometimes right, would kind of claim to kind of be against, like that thing that they hate about Marvel movies where every joke is like, he's behind me, isn't he? Like it is, Buffy was kind of like probably like the first like mainstream show that was like that. So it probably like it got much more well received because it wasn't stale at the time. But yeah, that's interesting that he would feel that way.
I know the reason that joke is chosen is because everybody can identify it, but that joke was in not Blazing Saddles, the other horse one with Billy Crystal. What's it called? City Slickers. He does that joke. Yeah, he does that joke in City Slickers 3 or 4 times. So
it's kind of funny. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Like most jokes, it's not like the problem isn't really formula, you know.
Right.
Comedy is this very organic thing.
And that type of joke in particular, to me, sometimes reads as like, we know that this is a tired trope and we're using it, and that's going to make it funny anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like
it's daring to do it because it's kind of tired in a way.
It's exactly the same as That's What She Said. It becomes a cliche almost instantly. And so you're riffing on the fact that it's a cliche, but it's still funny.
So somebody mentioned Jester Bell wearing an America shirt. I don't care about that. I wanted to point out that I haven't owned America shirt since like middle school, and I got one.
Oh,
Rejecting Kings, since 76.
No King's Day coming up. No King's Day.
It called to me, so I got that. I want to.
Can I just? I want to talk about this comment. We're moving on. I'd like to just address this very briefly. The Stray Bean stuff. I just want to point out that this is because they're not watching anything. These guys aren't watching movies and TV shows, and they've got to the point where they're just critiquing promotion now. So trailers and articles, they're no longer even watching the material they're talking about. So you're never going to get anything more than like surface level commentary. So it's going to be really dumb. So like, I don't understand what their podcast will even be like 6 months from now, to be quite honest.
I'm just shocked. I'm shocked to find out that they hate the woke film Conan the Barbarian and its sequel because there's black people in it, which is obviously scientifically inaccurate to the fantasy world.
What were we going to do next? Sorry.
I thought you had something. I thought you were.
I want to get to Chariot's thing for sure.
Yeah.
But
I just want to show this though quickly. Can I show this? I want to talk about this for a moment. Let me make it larger so you guys can see the screen here. But so Eric July has put a Band-Aid on his subscribers. He's been stuck at 490 now for a couple of weeks or whatever. But look at his most recent video. So he did the announcement of like, I guess, becoming a dad, or he did become a dad. It's very vague. I tried watching it. I don't understand what this is.
I don't understand it.
But if you look here, the recent videos, 2.6K 6 days ago, 3.9K 5 days ago, and just hitting 2K from 1 day ago. And his 4 Canon sakes have been so spectacularly bad that all of them have been hidden behind members only now.
And like fucking thumbnail there for 2 thumbnails,
2 of them.
Christ,
what
is he doing, man?
Joy Reid,
bro's really putting up those Chariot numbers. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's being somewhat like here talking about Japan and everything, but everything else is bit socialism is for losers. Like, anyway,
Is that him coming out as a socialist?
I don't know. Like, I just honestly, I couldn't have predicted how spectacularly bad the failures would be. But when you've got like 490,000 subscribers and you're struggling to get 2K views on a video over 24 hours, you might want to check your pulse.
Look, we may be smaller channels than him by quite a bit, but at least we're going in the right direction. You know.
Well,
I did want to say though, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but he has released some ISOM related merchandise that I think is going to take off. It's ISOM related chocolate, and I've got a bag here as well. I just wanted to show you. This is the ISOM related chocolate.
What
does that say? Plop?
Yes, it does.
Good lord!
Wow.
In all honesty, it's not ISOM related, but it's a German chocolate that I'm waiting to try and waiting to find out if it is indeed a plop.
I mean, look, once again, we got to claim our wins when we get them, and we've been claiming this was going to happen for quite some time.
I mean,
I think we called the start of it. I think we absolutely.
To be fair, I'm glad Melanie Mack has shut the fuck up. That was one that I was just like really tired of hearing from is Melanie Mack, and so.
Yep.
She owned herself, which is good.
Is anybody aware of who Curtis Yarvin is?
I know the name.
We're doing Dane's special interest now. Your latest.
Well, just a real quick thing. This is related to what we're talking about generally of like they project the idea that they're winning, but they're not winning. They're actually having a really hard time having won, and they're struggling with it. You know what I mean? Like when we're talking about the president and the administration, the regime, we see what they're doing. They're flailing all over the place. The people, the MAGA folks, they seem to think that because they won an election that they won culture, and that everybody that's not part of their culture should just shut up and go away. How dare you not be part of our culture? And in a little bit, we'll talk about how some of them seem to think this movie one battle after another, which was probably written years and years ago. I think, from what I understand, it's like a passion project of PTA's that he finally got to do. But somehow it's about Charlie Kirk, you know. So they're just like really crossing their own streams. But this is so Curtis Yarvin is a piece of shit, and he's God damn it. He is something else, man. He's a rich guy who has influenced his ideas, if you want to call him that, have influenced people like Peter Thiel, the vice president. What's his name? Eyeliner? JD Vance. And a lot of people on the right, more and more all the time, it seems like. He is an accelerationist. He believes in basically that we need to go ahead and have a corporate monarchy in this country. He is cool with slavery. He is a racist. He's a misogynist. He's all the worst things, and he's just really smug, and he writes about it and shit like that. But he's written a new thing here, kind of analyzing recent events. I don't want to read a little bit of it, if you don't mind. So, you can't handle the truth. This is on the Gray Mirror Substack.
An ironic start. So, sorry, just the title is ironic considering whose character says that in what film. I mean, Jesus. It's like they don't know where it comes from. That's what Jack Nicholson says in A Few Good Men when he admits that he ordered the murder of a soldier for not being tough enough.
Private Santiago, right? Is the character who gets killed in
remember the name.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pull.
So then follows up with another quote here. I don't know what this is from. We needed a bad cop anyway, and there's always more good cops. So for the past 2 decades, I've been watching the world wake up to the obvious. As Orwell said, nothing is so difficult as noticing the nose in front of your face. And warning, guys. I think, Eric, you were on. I think you were watching maybe, Cherry, when we watched that debate part of it.
I saw part of that.
Yeah.
This guy is the most, auto fart sniffing fucking, like, everything he says he thinks is the smartest shit ever. It's really just mid at best. But okay. I've been watching the world wake up to the obvious. As Orwell said, nothing is so difficult as noticing the nose in front of your face. A few people, me among them, were seeing that the whole story of reality that we lived in was as false and narcissistic, at least, as the Soviet Union's narrative of itself. Yet none of us could accept the darkest aspect of that truth. We all had the idea that we could stand up and speak the truth, and if it was true enough, it would just flash around the world like lightning. Nothing could prevail against the truth. The father of lies could not stand against the Lord of hosts. That this fantasy itself was part of the lie. That truth has no army, that no angels will ride to our rescue, was too much. Perhaps if I had known it, I never would have said anything. The truth is only available. Does anybody know what the fuck he's talking about yet? I don't. I mean, I kind of...
Having trouble stopping my eyes rotating in my skull like a fruit machine.
Let's see. Yeah, the truth is only available to the most advanced atheists and most advanced Christians. That doesn't tell... What the fuck are you talking about? All right.
God definitely doesn't exist and definitely does?
Yep. The advanced atheist has purged himself of all traces of folk religion and understands the world as it is, an infinitely cold universe of protons and electrons whose fundamental rules are a few lines of mathematics with no concept of humanity. That's not how I think any atheist that I associate with would describe reality. That's okay. Our galaxy is not even special, let alone our planet. To the advanced Christian, God's will is just as cold and his justice is just as inexorable, and his evil is meant to punish evil.
I hope you've gone underwater for me. Is anybody else hearing that?
Maybe it's more interesting to hear.
I think it was a blip. Yeah.
What is this word? That looks like a French word. I don't know how to say it.
Where are we?
This text is a little small for me to read.
I've got it on.
M-A-I-S-T-R-E.
I would assume it's Maestra.
Read the French Revolution as God's punishment of the decadent liberals who brought it about, and the weak conservatives who failed in their duty to oppose it. Was he wrong? I love my protons and electrons, but I can't see how he was wrong. Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe read some history about the French revolutions and his cause.
The second Trump revolution, like the first, is failing. It is failing because it deserves to fail. It is failing because it spends all its time patting itself on the back. Thank you, Curtis Yarvin, for getting to the point. It is failing because its true mission, which neither it nor, still less, its supporters understand, he's calling you all idiots, is still as far beyond its reach as algebra is beyond a cat. Because the vengeance meted out after its failure will dwarf the vengeance after 2020, because the successes of the second revolution are so much greater than the first. Everyone involved in this revolution needs a plan B for 2029, and it is not even clear that it can wait until 2029. Losing the Congress will instantly put the administration on the defensive. Yes, that's how that's works, hopefully.
So if I can try and pass what he's saying there, he's suggesting that Trump's term has been so bad that the Democrats are going to win and will strike down furious vengeance as they did in 2020 when they did absolutely nothing.
They did not a goddamn thing.
When they just kind of let it slide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that again, guys. Don't be, don't do that.
This is like his Trump 2032 pitch, basically, in that sense.
And I will strike down upon the mild vengeance and
spoiler. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you the spoiler here. The result of this is that he's suggesting people leave the country. Conservatives need to leave the U.S. And I'm not going to say that I disagree with that.
I hear Argentina's nice.
There's some tradition there of being friendly to certain folks.
And they can solve their economic problems by sending all the rich conservatives there to prop up their insane leader.
Here's a Twitter exchange that captures the situation perfectly. First, Stephen Miller of Homeland Security. The issue before now is very simple and clear. I'm doing my Stephen Miller. There is a large and growing movement.
You sound too masculine.
Oh, sorry. I'm doing the head twitch and everything. And it is shielded by far left Democrat judges, prosecutors, and attorneys general. The only remedy is to use legitimate state power to dismantle terrorism and terror networks. You have to say each word as if like you have never. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. So yeah, this country is a problem with a monkey. This is Yarvin again. The monkey keeps biting people and is shielded by an organ grinder. The only remedy is to punish the monkey. Logic. Ian Bremer,
He wants to spank the monkey.
apparently so.
Wow.
Ian Bremer, a sort of latter-day Kissinger mini-me, whose NPR show I actually went on, has the perfect response. Does this mean the Democrat judges, prosecutors, and attorneys in question must be removed? If so, would be an important step towards dismantling political opposition and creating a one-party state. Yarvin again. Indeed. Note the subtly contemptuous mockery of Democrat. Democrats use democratic as an adjective. Republicans use Democrat. Unclear when this little quirk originated. Actually, I think I'd read about that a long time ago. It was Republicans. I don't remember exactly who, but I think the name is known, that started saying, don't call them Democratic, call them Democrats, because whatever the logic was.
It was a big Limbaugh thing, I think.
Was that Limbaugh?
Yeah, I think I know he did that a lot.
Yeah. Except that it is in public almost the same thing that happened in 1953 when the House Republicans had a rare 2-year window of power and used it to do the unthinkable, investigate the great foundations. You know, anyway, he just bloviates on and on here, and he fancies himself a historian. And sure, you can look things up and see that certain things happen, but he takes really dumb, takeaways from things generally. And he's also just a really smarmy piece of shit. And you just have to notice that the people who are openly calling for essentially a paradigm change of society in which only a handful of people who would be on top in the next version, that he happens to be one of those people. And you got to question when someone is that fucking motivated and self-aggrandizing.
And definitely not self-aware, because he's saying that this phenomenon that he's locating, which seemingly everybody is talking about, is very hard to observe. So hard to observe that it's like the nose on your own face. This coming from the guy with like the biggest fucking nose on that entire side of the political aisle. What is he talking about? It's like absurd. This is the ramblings of not even a madman, of a guy who's like half gooning, half typing. Like, what is? He's not trying.
This last paragraph I want to read. I have to because I just saw it and then I'm done. January 6th was a normal anti-government demonstration in a normal country, instigated by provocateurs, never a genuine threat to the state, and handled with years of detention without trial and brutal prison sentences in isolation. Even after 9/11, the Cold War Mutt and Jeff Act kicked off instantly as we searched for moderate Muslims to love on. He's very, very fucking Islamophobic. Like it's the first thing that he basically reaches for in that debate that we watched a little bit of is
what was the year that he, like, at what point in time is he saying that we were searching for moderate Muslims to love?
I'd got to tell you, I was not back then.
If I had to translate what he means as a Republican, I think what he means is in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, when Republicans wanted to go around, round up all Muslims and basically either eject them into the sea or assassinate them, people on the left were saying, hey, maybe not all Muslims are evil. Maybe we take a rational approach. I think that's what he's sort of pointing towards. This idea that, no, when something like this happens, they're all on the wrong side. They're all evil. They're all the bad guys. Because this is just ahistorical claptrap.
Yeah,
pseudo-intellectual nonsense.
It's so ahistorical because, like, the American right alternatively hates Muslims because what they really hate is Arabs, but they kind of love far-right Muslims. Every time there's something new, like some terrible like new law where it's like some woman gets like murdered by morality police because she like smiled and showed too many teeth or some dumb shit. A ton of right-wing people on Twitter are like, oh, this is great, we should be doing this. And it's like, what are you complaining about Islam for? They're just like, some of these countries are successfully doing the thing you want to do here. I don't like this is, what was the word you used? Claptrap, Ryan? Was that the word?
Yeah.
That's the correct word.
I
Wow,
mean,
he does
it's
complain about how much we get laid. Crazy.
They're getting all the pussy and they're Muslim.
I can't handle it.
These
I wish I'd read
radical
that when I
left
was a teenager.
transgender Muslims who are also too tolerant are taking over. They're defeating our political administration by getting too much pussy. The greatest mind on the political right, folks. We love him. He's so intelligent.
Like, he has legitimately inspired people to abandon any kind of like, sensible conservative outlook or policy proposals and just like, let's just fucking drive this bitch off the fucking cliff like Thelma and Louise. They think that's a good idea. I did find another thing I wanted to read. So he says, where is it? God damn it. He says, of course, Brenner is absolutely right, but some corrections are in order. One, there is no risk of a Republican one-party state. Citation needed. Because there is no actual Republican Party. And on that, I agree with him. I've talked about this recently. This goes back to my recent kind of thread that I've been following with accelerationists. The party that's called Republican now they're not Republicans in any way, shape, or form they were 15, 20 years ago. They're just not. What they are is an empty suit that has been filled up with libertarian money and Christian nationalist money. That they don't give a shit about anything that the country had ostensibly been founded on, however imperfectly practiced and executed in 250 years. They don't give a shit. They just want power. They think, for whatever reason, they've come to the conclusion that this is just a failed experiment. But they don't want to blame capitalism, of course. That's been too beneficial to them. So that this is what they go to. This is what you do whenever you don't want to abandon capitalism because you've actually really gotten a lot of good shit out of it. We got to get rid of the system that doesn't let us, have slaves, which is what Yarvin advocates for. It's just these people are not Republicans. You know how every conservative accusation is a confession. That is true whenever they say that the left has been fucking, infiltrated by radical blah, blah, blah. It hasn't happened in terms of the Democratic establishment. Of course not. Right. But it has happened to the Republicans. There's nothing like what we used to think of as Republicans going on anymore. It's people like Yarvin and people that are influenced by his fucking idiotic, smooth brain sitting around jacking off in the mirror while sniffing his own farts, fucking charitably called ideas. That's it. All right, I'm done.
Well, it does sort of seem like MAGA is like the one viable path if you want to be like a right-wing political candidate.
For now.
The Never Trump people, at this point in time, the Never Trump people have not really been a force for some time now.
I mean, they lost MTG. She's already said she's no longer siding with them today. I think she made a statement about the healthcare thing. She knows that would be no pun intended, like a death sentence for anybody trying to get reelected once they find out what it actually does, which is doubles or triples people's, single payer healthcare. And she said that she doesn't understand why there's so many people, I guess, on her side that won't just make this concession. And I'm like, why does she sound like the rational person in MAGA right now?
Stop coming or what? Well, like, how does she just suddenly get off of the I don't know. That's weird.
I think that she's scared she's not going to get reelected. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, because she's part of the sort of new inset of people that came in, whereas the others have been there. A lot of them have been there for years.
And she didn't receive her treats either. She did all this work to get him elected, and then he never gave a fuck about her. So
Baron, they have always been the snowflakes. That's the thing. Always.
Yep.
There's a lot of people
don't be disrespectful to people who we have to kind of like live in society with. Let's, there's no reason to go extra and be a shithead to people. You could just kind of not do that, right?
Yeah.
Nope. And they're like, you're such a snowflake. Meanwhile, or years later, oh, Charlie Kirk died. I don't care. I'm going to get your fucking livelihood taken away from you. And your whole life is going to be uprooted and maybe even put a target on your back.
Yeah, I mean, even in the days like in 2014 when it was like peak like BuzzFeed pop feminism, when that stuff was kind of about to experience a massive downturn, but it was still riding that high. I mean, even then, when every article written by like a moderately left-wing person was like, is "Baby It's Cold Outside" too offensive? Is this, just stuff like that has become like these perennial discourses that have been lodged in our culture because we can't move on. But they were never really a sincere attempt to change anything. A lot of that stuff is like it gets portrayed, I think, in like a meta narrative context as this like movement of like oversensitive people. But I think the reality of it is that like there's two types of insecurity in politics. There's like, I'm about to lose my home, I'm about to lose my job, job insecurity, housing insecurity. I'm about to lose my civil rights. I'm about to be victimized. I'm like, my husband beats me, that kind of stuff. Understandable, real insecurity. I'm about to lose my health care, things like that. But then there's like insecurity of power, right? That like somebody criticizes America or white people and somebody gets a little funny feeling about that. So they need to go consume like 100 or 200 or 1,000 hours of shitty like live streams where somebody can tell them that actually it's the left that's wrong with everything and they hate you and that's why they say that stuff.
Another type of that, another version of that is the hey, did you see that study that says that white people aren't going to be the majority in 20 years?
Right. Insecurity that is rooted in a feeling of losing the normality that is achieved through like power and privilege and the stasis that's achieved through those kinds of social
literally the most
experiences.
complacent, comfortable, afraid of change motherfuckers living on the planet right now who have the gall to like look at people, like queer people, trans people who have to fucking fight to survive, to fucking have healthcare and to not, be murdered and shit like that, to have rights. And they want to fucking look at them and be like, you people are weak and cowardly.
So,
and,
I want to point out, I was thinking about this earlier, and it doesn't really fit on my channel because it's very, very political, but I was looking it up, and the amount of people who quote unquote identify as MAGA has actually dropped a lot. So as of March of 2025, it was sitting around 20%. So that means even in the Conservative Party, the ones that would call themselves like diehard MAGA was around 20%. As of the end of June, it was down to 16%.
Wow.
And as of now, they believe it's probably less than 13% that identify as hardcore MAGA. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is we talked about this previously. I'm going to tie all this together, I promise. We've talked about this previously where a lot of the racists don't want people who are marginalized to get power because they know that those people would do exactly what they would do if they ever came into power. Yep. And if you look at the amount of people who are MAGA right now, you'll realize that they are a marginalized portion of their group. They're the smaller portion of their group. And what have they done since they've got power? They've tried to screw everyone over that they don't like. This is why they don't want equality for everybody else, because they don't understand that some people are not like them. They want to believe that everybody would do what they would do, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. When you have a small group with a loud bark that comes in and wants to exert that power on everybody else. I don't believe, say, for example, we had a bunch of people in the government that were trans and gay and people of color or whatever. I don't think, and we've even seen this to some degree, I don't think the main priority would be to go and take rights away from straight people or Christians or whatever. We've never seen anything like that because I don't think that I don't think anything like that exists. But the problem is that now they have set the standard that is okay to do in government because they've come in and they've tried to do it. And they've been failing over and over again. And that's why I believe this thing with the healthcare situation and the government shutdown and all this stuff that's going on, they're trying so hard to take this as a W because, like we said earlier, they've been taking a lot of L's lately. There's been L after L after L after L for their groups. And so they need this to stick because if this doesn't, this might be the turning of that. This might be that moment where things start to really turn. With the
I think it's important.
Side.
You're 100% right. I think it's important to kind of dig in the point about them taking lots of L's. Many of them don't think they have been. At the same time, because, by the way, the fucking media that they consume, their president, lies to them constantly.
I don't mean the public. I mean the people in government. Like they know that they've lost some stuff, which is why they're fighting so hard.
But I'm talking like the way that the public, the voters, the supporters will react to whatever's happening, right? Like they will become disillusioned, even more so.
I don't see Dane. I disagree with you slightly. Let me tell you why. I'm seeing more and more content of people who are finally getting hit in the wallet, and they can't continue to pretend. They can't continue to pretend that everything is good. The farmers are a big one. They're secretly bailing them out with I think it's like $10 billion. I
don't think we disagree. I think you're talking about people who actually engage with reality.
Oh, you're talking about the disillusioned MAGA people.
Talking about the cultists who are being fed their reality via Fox and
but the good news is they're such a small percentage now. They don't have as much sway as they did prior to this election. I don't think.
Makes me want to do a dance, honestly. Like,
I mean, less than 13%. That's crazy. Yeah. They're ashamed to even admit it anymore. Most of them don't even want to say it anymore.
I think,
and then Theo Vaughn. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Theo Vaughn also finding out that the leopards eat the face as well was pretty funny.
Well, I couldn't believe it when I found out that his dad was an immigrant from Nicaragua, and it took as much as
it was also part of the HUAC, by the way. He was supportive of a politician that was doing HUAC back in the day. So there's that. He doesn't like to talk about that part. By the way, you talked about BuzzFeed and their whole heyday, and for some reason this article popped into my mind. I remembered one of these woke writers for BuzzFeed back then.
Benny Johnson, let's go. And this was when he was in the era where he eventually got outed for plagiarizing, right? This would have been
probably
pretty close to that point in time.
But, I believe that he very much enthusiastically plagiarized it. And look, he's not wrong, but I think maybe he's got some other stuff he needs to explore. That's all I'm saying.
I think I would be comfortable with Benny Johnson not being punished in any way for any of his behaviors, provided that when he passes, hopefully at a ripe old age, surrounded by loved ones, his tombstone eventually just reads Betty Johnson, date of birth, date of death, and then this article title in quotation marks.
He liked butt stuff.
Just that. No, just the full article. We all like butt stuff.
Well, you saw the Benny Johnson video where he AI'd himself as Batman beating up Asian people and people from Mexico, right?
That just reminds me of that.
Hold on, let me find it.
Travis Scott, the one fucking the Instagram edit with the Batman music.
No, this is really I can't I would say I can't believe they post something like this, but it's 2025, so
hey, look,
let me
I would not have thought to ask this question, but since you did, it is notable that they were very excited to go take that trip to Hollywood and visit Benny Johnson a couple years ago. I'm just saying.
Let me see. Here it is.
Why am I getting all these gay cruise ads on my computer?
Yeah. I wonder why. I wonder what the reason is. So this was posted by Benny Johnson here. Benny Johnson posted an AI video of him beating up a Hispanic man at a Walmart. It's also I believe some Asian people as well. I'm going to mute it because I don't know if it's copyrighted music. But anyway, here it goes. Watch the video. So at Walmart, already again, fucking with somebody's company as they keep doing. I don't understand what this is.
This is like a bad joke that people make to make fun of Batman. Like those posts that circulate where it's when you're a criminal in Gotham and you shoplift one pack of cigarettes and it's Batman winding up. I don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What a storyteller this guy must be for that. There's no premise here and no story. Just what if I beat up a bunch of various people of different ethnic backgrounds because they don't even all look that similar to each other.
No.
Here's the
Just what a strange little man he is.
Marjorie Taylor Greene stuff that I was talking about. I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president. I don't think anyone should be. I serve in Congress. We're a separate branch of the government, and I'm not elected by the president. So that's a pretty substantial shift, I would say.
She's really distinguishing herself. Like she's making the effort for.
I think she's such a shark. There's a part of me that wonders if this isn't kind of one of the first, and she's not like the only person to kind of be doing this right now, but she is definitely like, I think, the first big one. We might start to see more right-wing people who previously were in lockstep with the MAGA stuff and who loved it, just kind of slowly start to like burn Trump. Just because they might start to get the feeling that he is kind of living on borrowed time in terms of his political relevance as an individual, and they might try to like lose the man and save the movement. This sort of happened with Alex Jones when Biden got elected. Actually, he went on this rant on his show where it was like, you people said Trump was the Messiah, he lost, you know, and this whole big thing. And of course, I mean, that came back around because it's not like it was a principled stance, but yeah, this is kind of interesting. I don't know.
The other thing is that I believe I'm going to throw this out there. They knew that she was a flip-flopper, and that's why she never got put in any position of power with them, because they felt she was going to do something like this. And so she's kind of proving them right by not giving her that power. But at the same time, would she have done this if they gave her the power? I guess we'll never know. Because I think she wanted some sort of role bigger than an elected position, and she didn't get that. Have you guys seen? Do we want to go deep into some stuff? Do we feel like going deep into some stuff, you guys?
I mean,
what kind of stuff?
Have you guys seen this video clip?
What is this from?
It is from a podcast. Let's see. I'll close it down here. Christian nationalist pastor Brian Suave, I don't know if that's pronounced his name, calls for rebellious young black men to be executed by the state in accordance with the Bible. It's a very quick clip, but I saw this and I bookmarked it because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this because I'm not going to make a video about it, but I figure we could just chat about it here because it's pretty telling. This is the kind of So remember, podcasts were originally women that do OnlyFans are sluts and they don't have any value. That's where this started, right? And this is where we are now. These are the same guys that made that kind of content before.
The actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. Right. And whites are significantly greater.
By the way, these numbers are all wrong.
That's a huge fucking lie. This is a guy who doesn't know the difference between raw numbers and percentages just off the bat.
It's just like quartering.
The percentage number is also wrong, but holy shit.
It's like when the courting pulled up the arrest record and acted like it was convictions. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
And look, even in the subtitles, you can see it immediately. He starts talking about percentages. That's not a raw number, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Holy 13% percentage of the population. Yeah. So if you take that, and then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious. They don't listen. He lists some characteristics and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son. And then they stone him to death.
Yeah, point of order on that as well, if he wants to go down this route, because they love Deuteronomy for some reason. But there is a New Testament where Jesus, the Son of God, was known as being rebellious, disobeying his earthly parents by doing things. So is he suggesting that under Deuteronomy's law that Jesus should have been taken to the town square and stoned for
also, let's investigate their clothing real quick because it uses just as much space talking about mixed fabric as it does, anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how they wrap this one up. I'm sure it's going to be very intellectual.
They kill him. And an armed robber would certainly be one of those. Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
violent
culture,
crime.
Basically, take ghetto culture, it would describe this.
Well, at least that gets closer to the truth, though, right?
If you did that over 3 generations, how much violent crime would you have in the 3rd and 4th generation? Much, much less.
Absolutely not true. Absolutely not.
I mean,
true.
listen to this brain rot shit. It's just brain rot racism.
We've got crime statistics that go back hundreds of years at this point, and we know that actually punishment for a crime isn't a deterrent.
So there was
Right.
a few weeks ago, I was starting to think about doing a certain video. I may still do it at some point, but like it involved crime statistics. It was kind of just the crux of it. And one of the reasons I kind of like, I can't do that right now because I was medication change and stuff going on. Anywhere you look that has some kind of open format for communication, anyway, Reddit, whatever it is, if you find statistics about, trying to get cut through the bullshit that people like this love to throw out, you're going to find more people like this obfuscating aggressively. It is fucking upsetting the way that they do that, and that there's so many of them. And yeah.
So just real quick, just to investigate something you said a moment ago before we leave this behind. It is a very stupid thing to say, but the gentleman was saying that in Deuteronomy 21, this is 21:18 to 21:21 about rebellious children. I'm just going to read this from the New Revised Standard Version, updated edition of the Bible. It says, if someone has a stubborn and rebellious son who will not obey his father and mother, who does not heed them when they discipline him, then his father and his mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders of his town at the gate of that place. They shall say to the elders of his town, this son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of the town shall stone him to death. So you shall purge the evil from your midst, and all Israel will hear and be afraid. So just to be clear, all that stuff about like they're attaching like other crimes to this when they're talking about like murder and stuff like that. That's not, this doesn't say murder. It says rebellious, glutton, and drunkard.
Right.
All of these guys are doing so much fucking
robbery.
fraud.
Armed robbery definitely falls into that category.
Are you trying to suggest that the Bible's written in such a way that anybody who just wants to kind of push an agenda could theoretically take it and say whatever they want?
There's other stuff about murder in Deuteronomy. He'd like deliberately quoted like the wrong part of Deuteronomy. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but all of these dudes are blowing all of their like immense wealth on like cocaine and shit, and they were all walking around with beer bellies. And I just want to say that like in America, I think Americans in particular should maybe hold the phone on talking about killing people for being gluttons, because this is like KFC the country. Like, please, like we can't even ban 2 liters. This is insane. We can't kill people for being gluttons. This is ridiculous.
And I know I've said it before, and I've got to say it again, because I've got to say it every time somebody tries to bring religion up as a reason for doing anything. There's quite a lot in the Bible about what you should do for poor people and to rich people, and they all ignore all the stuff about being rich.
Weird, right?
All the
Like
time.
that they go right past the, hey, feed the fish and the loaves thing, and they're like, yeah, but what about violence though? Did you think about that?
I mean, there's specifically a passage about if you meet a poor person, you should invite them into your home. Specifically, and then there's no ambiguity there. It says if
they're like, I don't know, I have to do laundry
into
tonight. I can't really be inviting people in.
I think I actually, Ryan, you'll find that in Chud Lobotomy 21, it says, and if thou seest an immigrant, thou shalt render unto them the generative AI Batman videos, and the Lord shall see it and say that it is based.
I want to, so a friend of the channel, Edgier Than Thou, shout out, has been doing some content lately here and there about, graphs, statistics, numbers, and whatnot. And this is a shocking, 100% true, shocking statistic here. 100% of violent crimes between February 2025 and October 2025 were under Republican control.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 100%. This is absolutely true. So,
wow. It's pretty great.
I mean, it's also useless because, it's just the framing is such that it's fucking completely bad faith and obviously absurd. But
I've come to have a very close relationship with bad faith. So I feel like we can kiss once in a while. We just can't get in a relationship. So
also, I found these, so I just want to show them because
all right.
Totally straight.
Wow.
What is that?
I actually think that Critical Drinker, the bottom half of his body is missing an ass. I don't know. Pancake
Bro's got the
ass.
Hank Hill ass. No,
Get,
I mean,
that,
look,
get on the BBL life.
You guys ease up. I unfortunately also have no ass at all.
Yeah, but you're not a white nationalist. So,
true.
I mean, there's a difference. I want to point this out. You guys, this is actually good news. You remember this guy, Ryan Walters? What is his name?
Yeah, isn't he the guy that said that the porn he played on the TV definitely wasn't him playing up?
Right, but for some reason, he's completely left his position now, and he's going to work for some private organization.
Weird.
So Ryan Walters is out, and the investigation floodgates just opened. The Oklahoma AG launched a full audit of Walters' entire tenure as superintendent. It's about damn time. Also, the education department's website is suddenly being scrubbed of culture war nonsense. Pages are disappearing. Statements are being archived. It's clear they're trying to clean up the mess left behind. It says here, this is the same guy who funneled public dollars like a political slush fund, pushed PragerU propaganda into classrooms, which is not happening now, and tried to turn public schools into pulpits. Now that he's gone, the state is tearing through his books to see how deep the corruption goes. A grand jury already called this handling of pandemic relief funds indefensible. So, and we're not going to watch the video here, but they've actually gone through and taken all of his garbage shit off the school walls now and put up like the stuff that was there before.
Does this mean Kaya's out of a job? That job?
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't the guy that she was working for, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Even though she's never lived and doesn't live in Oklahoma, but for some reason was chosen to give him hand jobs or something. I don't know what.
Yeah, but now they're no longer doing the PragerU stuff. All of the woke agenda shit has gone off the public school system website. So,
oh man, I don't miss X. Look at what's trending: farting.
Oh,
great entertainment.
I like to take our W's where we can get them. That guy was a piece of shit. He was part of that extension of the Trumpism. Him stepping down because he was watching porn around kids.
Yeah, that's insane. There's something deeply wrong with what's going on, and I think I will vote in 2020. What'll it be, 2028, for the presidential candidate who just threatens to charge all of these people with crimes and have them arrested.
I don't want to pull up. You're talking about the Hassan situation, Blue Baron. We're not even talking about the Asmongold situation that just happened today. We're not even talking about that.
I didn't even see that.
This is all news to me.
Asmongold made a video. It's a video clip from one of his streams where he thinks, or he believes, that the way to stop people from protesting is to use live ammunition on them.
Jesus Christ!
What? Just kill them.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I don't know if we'll get in trouble for the clip, but let me see if I can find it here.
Maybe we shouldn't watch it right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I want to see what he actually says, though. I just want to.
He has to get banned for some of that shit at some. He's advocating murder.
He's very popular, though. So, I mean, on the one hand, these companies got a moral responsibility, and on the other hand, they've got a lot of money.
On the previous topic, while you're looking for that, real quick, I wanted to highlight a couple of examples here. There's this one. Famous influencer, frequent Fox News guest, arrested, charged with sex trafficking, producing CSAM material. That's redundant. CSAM with at least 2 minors. At least, it's always the ones you always expect.
I mean, there was also that pastor that worked directly with Trump that was recently.
Right. I have that right here, guys.
Church guy.
What?
We got one!
Yeah, we're not going to watch the clip, but I do have the quotes here. I found a tweet with the quotes in it.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's a big one.
This is a big one. I didn't realize how big this one when I heard it dropped, but this one is huge. As
former Trump spiritual advisor and mega church pastor admits to essay of a 12-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we get this lovely photo of him just being taken away by the cops here.
Hey, is that a trans woman?
Wait, let me see. It doesn't appear to be. Maybe it is. The founder of Texas megachurch, who resigned last year after a woman in Oklahoma accused a pastor of sexually abusing her in the 1980s, pleaded guilty. Robert Preston Morris doesn't seem like a trans woman.
No.
I think it's not.
A drag queen?
Wait, drag queen?
No.
I don't think he would make it in the field. I don't think he'd do very well, honestly, if he did try. So no, I'm gonna say no.
Huh? Weird.
it's always who you always expect.
Yeah. So I want to pull this up. This is the actual. We're not going to watch the video, but we can look at what the quotes are. I'll read them out here as best I can for YouTube's system. MAGA influencer. They're calling him a MAGA influencer now because the whole idea that he's in the middle just doesn't work. Anybody's like, I'm not for both sides, but then immediately starts talking about alt-right's talking points. Is like, what? MAGA influencer has 12 million followers across social media. He just said ICE protesters should be shot on sight. These are the quotes. I think they should use actual ammo. I think they should use deadly force. Shoot on sight. Absolutely. Of course. Set an example. This is what he said in his video. And he claims Trump very obviously watches his streams for political ideas.
He's probably not fucking wrong, dude. I mean, people probably send him clips anyway. I doubt Trump is sitting there like clicking on Twitch and shit, but like,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, they might repeat them to him because I don't doubt that. Like, I know that some of the Trump kids and some of the people around him are very plugged into the online sphere. I don't know if Donald Trump really knows that much about like Twitch at all. He's not like not that he's not an online guy, but he's not
sure
like
he knows some stuff about twitching.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, different sense of the word. Yeah, like I know like Don Jr. does a lot of and
Don
of course
Jr.
Barron
is coked out though. Like, have you seen any videos of him recently?
Yesterday was like, whoa.
Did Ivanka disappear? I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, where did she go? I haven't seen her in months.
She probably realized like seemed a little bit more clever than the rest of the family, maybe. So I think that her, and Kushner realized they kind of needed to get out of the public eye after the first administration and just kind of reap the rewards, right? So now he's about to buy EA Sports along with the Saudis.
Yeah, like all of a sudden that idea that the violent rhetoric on the left is now like, look at what Asmongold is doing. And he was one of the people saying that. He's like, they're so violent on the left. So I'm going to just condone violence, even more extreme violence in my podcast now and say these things. It's like they just forget there's no standards. They have no fucking standards. Right. It is all reactionary garbage.
And I want to point out that this is not okay, so there are some very noticeable, concerning similarities between things that are going on right now and things that happened in 1930s or so in Weimar Republic, Germany. Very similar stuff. One of them being that the right was doing all kinds of crazy ass violence and murders and shit. The left, maybe did one here and there, you know what I mean? But somehow they managed to convince everyone that the left were these crazy murderers doing all these murders and shit.
Yeah.
But it was actually, the right that was dragging people out of their homes and beating the fuck out of them, beating them to death in the streets.
I do want to say I only have like 10 minutes left before I have to go.
Yeah, I got to go soon too. Now, I want to also say that I don't think that things are going as well for those folks as it maybe was back then. I'm not saying that they're out of the game. They're not out of the game, but I think they don't have the strong tailwinds that Hitler and folks had back then.
No, and I think that like the articles that were written about this have said that they're not achieving the goals they need to achieve before the end of the year. It's probably what the problem is.
Yeah. Well, I think the big mistake they made is they underestimated how powerful, not particularly the mainstream media, but media in general is now. Everyone's got a video camera in their pocket. And so they can't go and do these things and start a narrative that says this person was doing evil, so we had to kill them. Because it's all recorded now.
I also think that the Jimmy Kimmel thing was a big deal too.
Yeah.
Because they tried to get that to happen and it didn't work for them. So
if you think about it, the common thread between and I want to talk about one thing in just a moment, but that's a great point, because the common thread between Epstein and the Jimmy Kimmel thing and a few of the other things that have happened is that the Trump administration, or the minds behind it, seem to have mistaken the apathy of the American people for some sense of approval or mandate behind them. If Americans all knew exactly how freakish and evil these dudes are, they would hate them with their entire being. The vast majority of them. There's some Americans who, a slice of the population are just going to be pro like evangelical race war no matter what, and we have to contend with that as well. But a lot, like there have been people since 2016 basically who have voted for Trump and then regretted it. And I mean, I'm related to some of them who have come up to me and been like, yeah, I thought this was something else, but it's, it turned out that this was like a lot meaner and nastier than I thought it was. I thought it was all rhetoric, and that was never me. I was never that person. But I think the thing that I've learned is that there's a lot of people who were not taking this shit very fucking seriously. And now that it looks like maybe the Epstein accusations might stick to Trump after all, that there might be legal problems for this administration, that they might face some serious legal resistance from different states. Pritzker's fighting them here now. I mean,
you know what, Cherry? Somebody also brought up a really good point on, I can't remember which video it was, it was one of the random streams I did, that what it seems like Trump and his people are doing now is consolidating out of office power, something that doesn't look like they think they can hold on to the power. It looks like they're creating some safety nets for themselves. And they also believe that Trump may try and pardon a bunch of people before he goes out of office, the ones that were loyal all the way to the end. But they don't expect him to do a lot of them because he's not a nice guy. So he's not going to be like, I'm going to pardon everybody. But they do believe that some of his most loyal people he will pardon, most certainly his family.
And that's the other thing I don't think the evil MAGA Republicans counted on, is that at his heart, Donald Trump is a petty, jealous, vindictive man. And so going after Kimmel was a huge mistake, but that was he was on Trump's enemies list. Stephen Miller doesn't give a shit about Kimmel.
Right. Stephen Miller cares about exerting power. That's it.
Yeah. And they know that that's not how you go after these media empires, by going after Jimmy Kimmel, which they must have known that this is exactly what would happen, but that's what Trump wanted, and so that's what he got. And so people loyal to Trump, like the FCC guy and like the TV station affiliates, they thought that they were doing a good thing for Trump, that he would praise them for, which it turns out they were. But that's not what the really evil people want.
Well, they're also investigating that. The FCC is being investigated now by Disney shareholders because of all this. They're going through and investigating them. That's why they got completely quiet about it. They haven't said anything else about it since it happened.
The other thing I wanted to say about the Epstein situation is there's a book that's just either come out or coming out called Entitled, which is all about Prince Andrew and his involvement. And obviously there's certain legal things that they can't say, but I mean, they heavily indicate that basically almost everyone with money and power is in the Epstein files, is connected to Epstein in some way, shape or form. And that's probably why the list didn't surface under the Democrats, and why it will never surface, because the kind of names that are in there, the kind of the involvement of basically the kleptocracy, all of the rich people in the States. I mean, this is why Elon gets photographed with Ghislaine Maxwell. Their paths should never have crossed.
Yeah, it's I think the being in the files is not the same thing as having committed any specific crime, for sure, for that exact reason. But I will say that this is a thing that like just regular predators do, which is they will try to drag people who are not necessarily intent on committing any crime into complicity with them so they can use that to silence and control victims.
Also, what everyone in these situations, this is what all sort of foreign governments do, is like diplomats are told, like, if you're on a diplomatic mission in a foreign country, do not be seduced by some sexy young lady who approaches you in a bar, because they are working for the state and they're going to videotape you and they're going to blackmail you. And that's probably what Epstein was doing with a lot of his clients as well. He was intentionally getting them involved in precarious situations, which they complied with. And the more you push that, the more you have power. And that's why they couldn't come after him.
I also want to point out, I think it's, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but is it Adelita Gravali, the one that won the election in, where was it at? Hold on, let me check. Arizona, who is the deciding vote on the release of all the Epstein materials. He's doing his best Mike Johnson is doing his best not to swear her in, because they know that would be it, that everything would get put out there. They would vote to get everything out there. And they're trying their best to delay that. And it's a combination of the shutdown. They're trying to get the W on the shutdown, but they also want to prevent the Epstein files from being released. So I'm pretty sure that while this is happening, there's somebody's working behind the scenes to try and figure out a way to not have this stuff come to fruition, that like the 218 votes they need. They're trying to figure out a way to do that. But I think their time is running out. I think it's running out. And I think if these Epstein files come out, that is going to be like this healthcare thing and the Epstein files coinciding together. Like I said, I think this could be a big turning point against the Trump administration.
Yeah.
If I was a cynical man, I might suggest that the change in Trump's attitude to the Epstein files might not be anything to do with him being in them, because everybody knows he is in them in some shape or form, but also all the people that were suddenly moved over to his side directly after he won the election, all of those incredibly wealthy businessmen that all of a sudden decided their companies would support Trump, that previously were fairly liberal or certainly supporting of the Democrats, all of them switching over. If I was a cynical man.
If I was a cynical man, I would say that this weekend is my birthday, and I think I'm going to do a thing where kind of hang out and just get a bunch of copyright claims on music on stream. So if you want to hang out with me, and
by the way, happy birthday! And I see that you got yourself the gift from my website. I looked on there and I saw one of the orders was.
Oh, you got the message?
Yeah. I said, well, I got to give a shout out to Dane.
As soon as I saw you wearing that hat, I was like, I gotta get one of those, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much for buying one. I appreciate it, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
I still got to get. I keep forgetting to order this. I'll make a note. I got to get my "I'm bored" shirt.
Oh,
I want that.
That's what I
remember saying this. I think before you even made it. I was like, I wish
you were one of the people that said that there should be one, and I was like, yeah,
I almost got a shill shirt, almost, but I don't know. Yeah, I didn't like the placement of the word, I guess, is what I.
Yeah. It really comes down to personal taste, but yeah, I have a wellness check hat now, so there's that as well. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, you're not tempted to do or have you done the I was right all along?
I haven't, but I thought about it. But yeah, the wellness check thing is funny because I said that about a couple different people, and now it's become another thing that people keep commenting on. So I was like,
it is genuinely very funny. Yeah.
So, well, I did one on Melanie Mac, and the prognosis is not good. So,
oh man. Oh, that's got to be tough. Legitimate wellness check, because she has to remember to drink water and not
not eat butter, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Can you admit she's just watching the views go down over time and just chomping on a stick of butter sitting at her?
Before we do sign off, I want to say, I don't know if you guys have heard the news about Jordan Peterson, but apparently he's not doing well.
Yeah, he's on the door.
He's fighting demons, allegedly.
So it's either a lot of years of mold or spiritual warfare.
Whichever one seems the most reasonable, I guess.
Yeah. Whichever one you draw to, just choose it.
I'm going to go spiritual warfare,
which is very fucking cultural Marxist, if you ask me, to kind of just go.
I'm going to go the third option, and that
it's a postmodern neo-Marxism is what that is.
Being on an entirely meat diet turns out good for you.
Right. Surprise.
Did I ever tell you that she commented on a video of mine one time? Beef Daughter.
Michaela Peterson?
Yeah.
Really?
I did a video whenever he made a video about the Captain America comic. I think it was maybe Ta-Nehisi Coates writing it at the time, had used his words for the Red Skull in the comic. And it worked perfectly. It was like flawless, honestly. It was great. Some of the coolest shit Red Skull's ever said as a Nazi.
Would that be funny if you just like went through and took like a polarizing political figure and just made his dialogue every dialogue in every panel of your comic book?
But so I responded to I made a video about it. I'm like, actually, this is great. This is a really well written Red Skull. It's good. And I talked about Jordan Peterson, and I said that he'd been through his benzo coma and all that stuff. And then the thing I said that really incensed pretty much all of what I ended up calling the Petersons. All of his fans, as well as Beef Daughter, was unfortunately he survived. I said that. And they just like lost their fucking minds because apparently that basically is just killing him by saying that. And yeah, so I got a bunch of pushback on that. Got pretty much more swamped on my channel than I've ever gotten. By far and away, just the most fucking blowback from anything I've ever said on my channel was that. And then like a couple months later, I was looking through my filtered comments or something. I just buried in there somewhere was like Michaela Peterson. And I was like, that's not really her. It was really her. And she was like, you know, all of them avoided me talking about the things he actually said, the things that kind of point to him being essentially a fascist, you know, and not just that, but like the unhealthy shit that he said, just like generally not good for people. And they just blew past all that just to zero in on the can't believe you said he unfortunately survived. It's like, wow, you don't even want to defend against any other shit. You just want to, you know, clutch your pearls over that.
You should have replied and been like, what? I want him to go to heaven. It's better there. He
I
believes
did say
in it.
thank you, beef daughter, or something like that as a reply. But
Beef daughter. Jesus. Fuck, that's a funny story. That is kind of
that comment somewhere. I have to find it for Friday. So yeah, Friday birthday stream. Come hang out, listen to music, give me some recommendations, talk about whatever, do Q&A. Maybe I'll get drunk. Who knows?
I would like to just very quickly, I'm going to run through this as fast as possible because I know people got to go. But I did a community post this morning when I saw that the biggest monetized video on my channel had allegedly, per the community strike notification that I got and the email that I got from YouTube, been taken down because, and I'll just summarize as quickly as possible. It's a long explanation with a ton of like screenshots where I like prove that I did nothing wrong, but whatever. I mean, I basically just pointed out that like I linked to a website that I had to link to because I was doing attribution for the host of the piece of content that I was using. I was using some music in my video that I was allowed to use. And the channel that had uploaded it had asked that if people use it, they copy paste something in the video description, which is very normal here on YouTube for creators to do. And so I did that. And in the copy paste, there was a link to the website. The channel is called Breaking Copyright. So their website is also called Breaking Copyright. This apparently, and it only just now happened. I uploaded this video in April as it was getting a surge of views because Pillar of Garbage mentioned it in a recent video, which I was super grateful for. Apparently this might have gotten like reported, which is what I think happened because it got a ton of new views. And then this happened basically right away. And it seems to have been flagged as if it were linking to a website that would encourage people to break the law, which is of course what you can see on screen here. Now, it looks like, and this happened like right before I came on here, it looks like that might have actually been reversed and it might be over already. Because it was a pretty, as insofar as I can tell, a pretty flimsy excuse for a channel warning. And it was my first one, and I contested it almost immediately, and it just vanished. So, you know, pending any updates from YouTube, you know, I'm waiting for like an email or something that maybe clarifies the resolution of this. I got a response from Team YouTube on Twitter that said that I had that seemed to say that I had successfully contested the channel warning, which is good. But I haven't gotten an email just yet, so we will see how that goes in the future. And I'm trying to keep people updated. But that was what happened here. And yeah, so basically, this has lit kind of a fire under me because my kind of inference based on what I was seeing is that this was just a bad faith report, which is a thing that has happened to me before, but not in quite some time. And I know it happens to a lot of left-wing content creators when they have a video that pops off. And so, you know, in honor of this, I am going to be doing nothing but anti-fascist content on my channel. Anti-fascist peacemaker analysis, anti-fascist grifter debunks, the whole works. That's going to be the rest of October.
Dope as fuck.
I'm gonna hit him high, him low.
There we go. Well, glad to know it's resolved. Hopefully,
yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, good to know. I am gonna jump out of here though, but I want to thank everybody for being here for my channel. And
thank you for being here.
I don't know how much longer you guys are going to be live, but my Jester Bell video will go live in like 5 minutes. So
about that long and definitely not longer.
Okay. All right. See everyone later.
Later, man. Yeah. So now that guy's fucking gone, Jesus Christ. No.
Now we could start the show for real.
Yeah. Now, actually, I don't know what we're gonna do now. So come back. Yes, that sucks. I'm glad that you kind of got a direction to kind of go in, at least, or an idea of what went wrong there. I'm sorry that happened because that's your most viewed video or one of your most popular ones?
It was my third most, and Pillar of Garbage just recently recommended it to people again, and it shot up, and now it's my second most. But my most watched video on my channel is actually not monetizable because of copyright issues. I've left it public and not tried to, do anything to like fix it or whatever, just because I thought, it's an old video. I'll just let it kind of hang out. But this video is almost now as highly viewed as that video. And that video was uploaded. It's got about 30K views, and it was uploaded in 2018. This video was uploaded this year, and it's got like 26K views. So it's probably going to pass it eventually.
Nice.
And it is monetized, and it does actually help my channel a lot when people click it and watch it.
Right.
Probably one of the things that one of the best things that I've made for my channel in hindsight.
Is that the 3-hour one?
That's the 3-hour, the truth about anti-woke grifters that I
that's dense, excellent content. And I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I guess we kind of have similar numbers on our most viewed videos there. I'm realizing. Mine being, I think, still the Watchmen video from 2019. Had like 31,000 or something last time I looked. I don't remember, but
yeah, it's I've been enjoying kind of resetting this year and focusing in on essay content, because I think anytime somebody does that on YouTube, it's like you have to like retrain the algorithm to promote your videos.
I'm actually kind of wrestling with I'm pretty certain at this point that my channel has peaked, algorithmically speaking, and just like that I blame myself more than anything. I talked about this yesterday on stream when I hit 8,000 subscribers finally. Thank you for anybody that's subscribed at all, but especially recently. Yeah, so I've been inconsistent. I've covered stuff that I know is not what is expected on my channel whenever I feel like it. These are all conscious choices I've made over the years, and so like I can't really be like, oh, the algorithm hates me. No, I just I know how the algorithm works, and I've kind of just decided to say fuck you, algo, plenty of times. I wasn't even monetized for like almost 2 years, and I don't know what effect that has, but I can't have no effect, right? Like that has to tell you, YouTube has to kind of take that as like, oh, we shouldn't fuck with this guy too much because he didn't even value our fucking monetary system very much. He didn't care about getting remonetized, this asshole.
Yeah, well, I've wondered about that myself because I've not monetized my channel because it's just not worth me doing at this point. And I do wonder if it does affect how you're treated in the algorithm.
It shouldn't, unless the content is also like ineligible for monetization if the channel was monetized. Like how some content is like ad restricted. Like that definitely I think does.
It shouldn't, and I go to great pains to avoid any copyright issues and that's a hell of a job because all I cover is stuff that's copyrighted and free use. But you do wonder.
Before I go, I want to point out that there are plenty of reasons to kind of like, conservatively, to use that word ironically, sit back and just kind of quietly observe as MAGA fucks up here and there, as they overreach, as they find the limits of their inorganic, not well-earned power, right? Enjoy that. But also at the same time, 2 people have been shot and murdered in the Chicago area in the last few weeks by ICE. Murdered. Straight up, just murdered. It's not good. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure everybody knows that happened so that you can kind of keep it in mind and talk about it to whoever is willing to listen, because it's the kind of thing that if we just let it keep happening without really kind of like calling it out, it's just going to be a normal thing. And it doesn't need to be,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's going to happen. Unfortunately, it will happen again.
And we need to call it out every single time that they're fucking shooting people for disrespecting them or whatever the fuck, or just like the first one was a dude that, you know, they claimed that in both cases it seems like the agents said, oh, but they're coming right for us, you know what I mean, and they weren't. The guy a few weeks ago was driving away, and there's video of it. That's the thing, they keep making up these lies that just, oh damn, if only there wasn't video, you know what I mean. And the guy was driving away from, there was no ICE agent was going to be harmed by him driving away, and yet they claimed that he just fucking hit the gas and came right for him, and so they shot him. It's not what happened, and it seems like this is another example of that too. Seems like. I don't know for sure, still pretty fresh, but yeah. So
again, that's why it's important to for as many people as possible to have eyes on these sorts of things and record it, even if nothing's happening, just in case something does.
Somebody sent me this, and I was like, whoa, because I don't even watch Fox News enough to know that they have a masked guy that comes on. But apparently, if this is accurate, if these are not like fake images, and I don't think the person that sent it to me would do that, but
the top two are definitely not fake. I'm not sure about the Gaza one.
That's the one that stands out to me too, because of the white background, yeah. But like, I have another one that goes with it. Whoops. Anyway, yeah, you guys, by the way, are welcome to hop on Friday if you're free, available, and bullshit, and I don't know, make fun of me for my birthday, roast me. You know, I can take it, I promise. So there's that, where they kind of did a mock version to show, oh look, this is that guy with this mask and hat on. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I find it incredibly suspicious that they just happen to every now and again try out a guy with a mask that covers virtually the same part of his face, who says exactly what they want him to say. Just one guy who.
Right.
I think it's worth remembering, and of course, this is not really news to a lot of the people who are hearing me say this, but I think it's important to remember that when Fox News was dealing with those two really big lawsuits over their claims about the voting machines that they had aired, one of the things that the court obtained, one of the documents that the court obtained, was transcripts of text exchanges between the people who worked there, including newscasters, who were actively saying stuff like, I can't believe our viewers are stupid enough to fall for this stuff.
Carlson, who every night essentially was full-throating fucking Trump for years, was in text saying he fucking hates the guy.
They're super liars, and they hate their viewership. Like, all they do is lie, and they know they are.
You hate people, right? Like, that's the only way I can fucking even try to begin to understand it. Is like, you must have like a deep fucking resentment towards a large swath of the country that you don't even know and are willing to fucking give you their attention and money and whatnot every night for, I don't know, I don't understand that kind of hate. That's fucking crazy to me. But
I think the Dominion lawsuit also showed, unfortunately, it had a chilling effect in that any whistleblowers that might want to come forward that work at that company sort of saw that and thought, well, there's no point. They got sued. They paid out nearly $1 billion and nothing changed.
Nothing. I mean, they're doing it again now with what's the other one that's suing them?
Isn't it the other voting company?
Smartmatic, yeah. Yep. Sorry we didn't get time to talk about this. You know, we kind of did. Just generally the topic of them lying about stuff and using media to grift. This is a story that I believe has been around for years and years. It's adapted from something. I'm not sure. And I do know that Paul Thomas Anderson had wanted to make this film for quite a while. So nope, has nothing to do with it's not Ben Shapiro saying this, but I have seen where people are saying it's about Charlie Kirk somehow. Fucking, it's like,
which would be a hell of a thing if you think
people didn't know that political violence existed until the moment his fucking neck got ruptured. You know what I mean? Like, great.
I mean, just the idea that anybody, particularly Paul Thomas Anderson, who spends some time over his films, could make a film in less than a month.
That said, the
From
plot,
start to
as
finish?
I understand it, does sound pretty rad, and kind of, yeah, very Paul Thomas Anderson as well. So Leo plays, I guess, like a failed, washed-up old leftist revolutionary kind of guy, and yeah, he's not been doing so well for a while. And then I guess his daughter, who is active in some communities, apparently, gets involved in some shit or something, and so he's got to kind of jump back into action and save her. And he's not in great shape, and comedy ensues and drama and whatnot. So, is it Pynchon? I did not know.
Which Pynchon novel is it supposed to be based on? I'd be interested to know.
See. Inspired by the 1990 novel Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's actually my favorite. That's unironically my favorite Pynchon novel.
Wow.
So I guess I have to see this.
It looks really good, and I mean, I was interested just based on the trailer. I didn't even know PTA directed. I'm not like somebody who just flocks to his films necessarily either. But this one does seem like a fun, kind of out of pocket one for him. Let's see.
Yeah,
so
I actually this is so
Baptist-
funny because I actually talk about Finland in one of my upcoming videos.
Nice.
Wow.
It's Vinland, not Vineland. I guess that makes sense.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if it matters, but yeah, that was just
And
how my Pomo professor used to say it. So that was the class I read that for.
Well, if you read the book, is it about Charlie Kirk? Considering it was written before he was born.
It's about the 1960s and at a meta level, it's about the rediscovering the legacy of the 1960s, basically, and
Nice.
there's a character and she's looking for her mother, who, as I remember, is kind of painted as this kind of I don't know, scumbag pseudo revolutionary who ended up sleeping with a Fed, and then it turns out that that's her real dad or something like that. It's been a while since I've read it, but it's really well written and it's very, very funny. Pynchon in general is a really good writer.
So it's got 95%
Vinland Saga.
positive
Harrison
critics
James
reviews.
is the name of the anime that you're thinking of. That's more based on what's the, not Berserk. There's another anime that's like that it's kind of sort of close to. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dane.
That's okay. Just kind of looking at the reaction to it here. See if Wikipedia has picked up on the Chud reaction at all. Doesn't seem. Oh wait, yep, there it is. William Bibiana of The Wrap was less enthusiastic, describing the plot as scattershot, unfocused, overly long, and the film's themes as shallow, writing, he's more interested in taking cheap pot shots at the film's real-world analogs than actually exploring them. Kyle Smith of the Wall Street Journal, imagine that, similarly noted the film is big and brash, rangy in tone, style, and theme, and has so much going on that a single viewing hardly seems sufficient to absorb it all. I love those kind of movies. That's me saying that. Whether it's a masterpiece of hodgepodge will be a matter of some discussion. The reach is evident, but the grasp is a little shaky. It's been criticized by conservative and right-wing commentators for specific or sympathetic portrayal of anti-fascist revolutionaries. Wow, what assholes for making that movie about people that, checks notes, don't like fascism. Especially in the wake of the it's so crazy how they're just yeah, we're fascists, man, and it's really fucking upsetting that you guys don't like us. It just, you know what I mean? Instantly they just kind of both absorb, embrace, and reject it at the same time. You know what I mean? They're having a real.
Yeah, well, this is I'm gonna go 3 layers too deep with this, but this is one of the reasons why the political right hating postmodernism is one of their dumbest opinions.
Yep.
Because a lot of this Pynchon is sort of one of the great postmodern American authors, and what Vinland is really about is disillusionment in a lot of ways with revolutionary politics.
Yeah.
And sort of refuting the mythologization of the
Honestly,
1960s.
that makes me want to see it way more than it just shot way up my list now. So thank you.
And the book is actually quite it's not, you know, like something like Gravity's Rainbow, which is another like Pynchon novel, is a bit of a tougher read, I think, but Vinland is very, very a much easier reading. I think when it came out, it was actually kind of panned critically for that reason. Because he's, I mean, talking about like great American novelists, he's one of these novelists of his generation that is kind of known for like pushing the novel in new directions. He's kind of like he did with like Gravity's Rainbow what like DFW did with like Infinite Jest. Like he's one of those guys. So I think, you know, I definitely recommend Vinland to everybody. I haven't seen this, of course, so I can't know. Maybe movie good, maybe movie bad. I have no idea, but it sounds very interesting.
There are a lot of people that seem to like it, and then a few people who seem to be shitheads really don't. So, you know, it's got a lot of going for it so far.
I mean, it feels like, though, at this point, Libs of TikTok's next big campaign will be against World War II movies for being Antifa. So, I mean,
right? Yeah, that's tough. Oh, also, I remember the anime that I was thinking of earlier, Vagabond. When I was thinking of it, what's that genre called? Seinen, I think.
Oh.
You're talking to two of the biggest anime idiots.
Anime idiots, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen Ghost in the Shell. I've seen Sandal and Complex. Too really good.
Yeah, Shivini, David Foster Wallace, not Dallas Fort Worth. Yes, David Foster Wallace, the author. Yeah, that's who I meant.
Cool. Well, yeah. So I want to remind everybody, these guys were all very close for a while. Just saying. Look at them playing Russian roulette, drinking vodka. Crazy.
And none of them want you to know what's in the Epstein files.
None of them do. All of the worst people don't want the Epstein files to be released. Suddenly, that seemed to change at some point. It's weird. So this clip, I showed it recently, but it keeps popping up into my mind basically every day now. This is from over a year ago, I think. There was a clip going around from the Daily Wire where, you know, all the big manly alphas on Daily Wire, you know, got together with their big brown cigars and were sucking on those big brown suckers and talking about, you know, just kind of floating some ideas about America. You know what I mean? And it was an alarming discussion to me, and so much so that I covered it and kind of flipped out on stream about it. I just want to revisit that in you know, context of everything that's happened.
Any solution to our cultural and political problems through the political system, and that perhaps it's time to look to older systems, strongman, monarchy, even dictator.
The right is doing every single fucking thing they've been accusing the left of doing, which is really, they typically just mean like goddamn Democrats, for years. They're doing it all. They've been doing it all. They've been saying that the left wants to fucking take away democracy. They want to end fucking, you know, America as we know it, in freedoms. I have never seen the third most popular fucking left-wing, you know, even Democrat fucking aligned media outlet having a fucking sit-down conversation about ending democracy, man. Daily Wire is about the third most popular after like Newsmax and Fox News. These guys are essentially mainstream. They're talking about ending fucking democracy, man. To whatever limited, broken, fucking flawed, you know, degree that we have it, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying we got perfect democracy. We don't. We got some, and some's better than none, I'd say. Yeah.
Thank God you were wrong about that.
A lot of people try to gaslight me, man. And I'll be honest, it kind of had, you know, here and there, I would have moments of like, maybe I did overreact to that shit. Maybe it's just some content creators doing some clickbaity bullshit for clicks, right? Which is what it is, but it's also them talking about it in a sincere way, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't, a lot of these people that we complain about on this show are basically the gaslighting industrial complex.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. You know, that's, of course,
like
they're going to
if you like what they're saying, they're very serious. If you don't, they're just joking or just saying some stuff, you know, just words. It's all because of words, you know. That's what we got to remember. We find that.
Anybody know what Boring is up to now? He's been very quiet, suspiciously quiet.
Yeah, he left Daily Wire, right? Or technically changed his role. I think he might still be like a producer or something.
No, I think they booted him because his Pendragon Cycle adaptation that Philip.
Well, apparently
mentioned
that's still coming out.
Way
so.
over budget. Well, yeah, they've got to try and recoup some of the money from it.
But look, it's all because of words, guys. That's really deep when you think about it. If you think about it, don't think about it too hard, because then you realize it's stupid. But if you pretend to think about it and go, yes, makes you think. Boring his wife, got him.
Yeah.
Got it,
I mean,
Dad.
watching those Daily Wire films feels like boring a hole into your head. I have to get around to doing my Lady Ballers review. Obligatory transgender YouTube channel, Lady Ballers review.
No, he's still there.
Well, which one of those is not like the other? Think about this. Like, what murder of a public figure did not involve words? Right? Like, that's how fucking stupid that is. But that's the exact kind of thing that Facebook boomers are like, oh, it's so true. He's just like MLK.
in like almost no regards, except for that he said something and people didn't like it, and then also was murdered.
Yep.
In that like one, which like at that point there's like a lot of MLKs, right? Like I just it
I mean,
feels like
aren't we all
uses.
kind of MLK when you really think about it?
I mean, I would never say those words in that order. But
Brian's like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. No, yeah, obviously the whole thing is that it cheapens MLK to even fucking mention those two guys in the same.
Okay, so I'm checking his Wikipedia, and there's a link to an Axios piece covering him stepping down as co-CEO of the Daily Wire.
Right, but he was still technically employed by them. I think he was doing
right. So he is still, I believe, as of this moment, still working on the creative content. So maybe they're going to phase him out after
base move. Like it seemed like they were probably pissed at him, right?
Well, he was behind the Candace Owens firing, so I mean that there might have been friction behind the scenes that we don't know about.
I mean, he did kind of seem like he was getting a little bit too, Hollywood lib smarmy attitude shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're just doing it just like Hollywood. And, maybe was huffing his own shit a little bit too much and threw a whole bunch of money into that stupid show that maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Probably not. I'm not going to watch it, honestly. But yeah, it seems like maybe the purse minders of the Daily Wire started looking at things and not seeing. At the time that we covered them on Fapcast, when was that? Right after the election, maybe before. Their views were tanking, like on YouTube and whatnot. So, it was after the election because we talked about how Ben Shapiro and that type of conservative content, in particular, was useful to them prior to gaining power. Once they've got power, they have no reason to keep fucking, doing the pretend civility thing that Ben Shapiro kind of represents. And like, you know what I mean? They started going towards Asmongold, for fuck's sake. The guy who wipes his boogers and, bloody gum juice on the fucking walls while roaches crawling them. That's their id. So they went with that. They got tired of like pretending to fucking, tolerate Ben Shapiro and all his, his whole thing, right? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here before I get canceled. Somebody cancel me, please. I could really use the fucking career boost, honestly.
Don't worry about
it. Sorry, that caught me off guard. So I think Pendragon Cycle is supposed to come out this year, but it's already October.
Oh,
I'm checking the page for it.
Thank you.
It says it premieres on Daily Wire Plus 2025. But it only announced Tom Sharp's casting in September.
Oh.
So how, like, they're really gonna shit this thing out if they're dropping it in like November or December.
Just relax. They're gonna be competing with Disney, which was their explicitly stated goal. They said they were gonna do that. So just wait. What you need is a good cancellation. Exactly. Guys, Morgan got it started here. # cancel Dane. I need to be able to pay Morgan for the Papcast.
I think I'm going to say something really crazy. I think I could save this this TV series.
Yeah.
I think if Daily Wire Plus is hiring, bring me in and let me just make this the gayest show. Because I think I could make it really funny, and I think that people, like a couple people, would maybe not watch it. But
you think there's something you could do with a sword and a stone? I don't know. I don't see it.
It's just I'm just looking at this, and I just feel like it's just gonna be like another like Brett Cooper kind of stares prettily into the camera, and we're all just kind of vaguely reminded of how much she looks like a weird Ben Shapiro clone.
And then you go,
Yeah, well,
how many people actually think that this is successful again? And it's not clear, you know what I mean? Because they're so in their algo silo. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
I don't think it can be successful enough, even if everybody who subscribes to the Daily Wire watches it. I don't think it can be successful enough. The amount of money they've spent, they're going to need to like triple or quadruple their subscription numbers in order to make this financially viable.
It's like they're the same
spent
thing.
So much money on it.
It's like Elon Musk. They're very similar. I think it feels like what happens is they convince themselves of the shit that they are telling their fucking their backers, the people that they're getting money from, essentially, right? That they think that what they're telling those people is actually true. Like, look at what we're doing. We're gonna compete with Disney. We're gonna have the fucking auto drive cars next year, 15 years in a row. That kind of shit. I don't know. Do you want to though? Like, who's like, you know what? I can fix her because I really want to bang Ben Shapiro and I'm not gay. So I don't know. Anyway, you guys are lovely.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Morgan, Bob, I think the three of us, we can handle it. We could.
Yeah.
We'd be like the what are they
it.
called? Like the three there's like a group of like in Arthurian legend. There's like a group of witches or whatever. I can't remember exactly. But it's like the like Morgana and a bunch of those like types of characters. That'll be us.
Oh, real quick, movie recommendation: Weapons.
Oh, is that good?
Fuck yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was a big fan of Barbarian, which was I didn't know until the other day that Zach Kreger, the writer-director of those two films, is from Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I have to see it now.
But yeah, Barbarian is fucking phenomenal. This is also very, very good. I mean, I don't want to say one's better than the other. They're kind of different things, but I love Barbarian. It was unexpected, kind of fresh type of a horror film. And this was as well, with very different story kind of elements and whatnot. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to talking about it with basically anybody who's seen it and wants to talk about it. So somebody watch it. Yeah. And I don't know, subscribe to the books you saw on screen today.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm about to go off on at the end of this year. I've got some crazy stuff that I'm finishing up hopefully very soon. Really insane video about Star Wars and fascism, hopefully like around like Halloween, but I'm doing some stuff before then. Peacemaker video about the kind of Nazi timeline stuff. I love that clip. Doing some anti-woke grifter debunks as well this month, having stayed away from that topic for a while, including a detailed rebuttal of Ben Shapiro's Superman coverage.
Oh shit!
That I've been working on, which has been really interesting to make,
and
way longer than I thought it would be.
It just seemed like he was so off base on everything that I saw from him on that he was either intentionally doing it or like didn't actually pay attention, or I don't know.
Yeah, I realized, sometimes when a critic makes a very interesting critique of a work of art, what you realize is that their critique is actually about them. And this is really more about who they are and what they feel and care about. And so the video in some ways is really more about Ben Shapiro. Yeah, no, I've been working on a bunch of really crazy stuff. And I think I'm going to have that Peacemaker video out tomorrow, hopefully. So
okay.
We should do a Peacemaker Shillcast. Maybe like next week or something.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we're down to do it today. I'm down to do it whenever. I think Bob Chaos will be back next week, so that'll be cool. And how many episodes are there?
There's one more tomorrow. There's the last one of season 2. It's going to be, I think, extra long. James Gunn said something about that.
Well, and we don't want to question him, so.
No one's more creative than James Gunn.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. Ryan, what do you got?
Nothing much. Have a little bit of a rest between seasons of my Rockford Files reviews. I'm trying to find time to do other stuff, but life gets in the way. So yeah, just taking a bit of a short break, a couple of weeks, and hopefully be back with season 5 of the Rockford Files and some other stuff coming soon.
Word?
Hell yeah.
I do want to announce also that I think I'm gonna set a target date of Halloween for releasing the collection of music that I've been working on for a while now. It's gonna be about 6, maybe 8 songs. We'll see. Yeah, and I'll probably just like give that out and to whoever that wants it. So refining those, getting the process kind of nailed down of producing them from start to finish, and then having the unfortunate task of working with a honestly just kind of like difficult vocalist. He's not very good, and just trying to get a good performance out of him, making him not vape that much so that he can sing a little better, things like that. It's rough, but we'll get there. So
no, we're going to think about something for a Halloween stream as well.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So Halloween, yeah, that's what I'm going to do for that. It's look, the music is inspired by a lot of the shit we talk about on these streams a lot. So there's literally a fucking song about Nerdrotic. There's literally a song about racism, basically, and all of these things are, I think, pretty neat. I'm much more confident in my lyrical writing ability than I am my singing ability. But yeah. Morgan
Were
says,
you talking about yourself when you said the vocalist thing?
Yes.
Okay, I was searching for the joke there. I was like, I can
100%.
tell from your tone, because you've got this certain tone that you're making a joke, and I was like, where? I'm trying to find it.
The joke is that I called myself a vocalist, a singer. That's the humorous part right there. But we call this in the industry, we call this turd scrubbing. What I'm doing right now. I shouldn't be talking about it this way. Why am I saying this? Jesus Christ. Anyway,
have you seen or listened to Moonwalker?
Moonwalker. What is that?
Oh, dude, hang on, hold up. You're gonna get a kick out of this.
Have you heard about the Shags? Have you guys heard about that band, the Shags?
If they're new, I have heard about them.
No, they're 3 girls from the 1960s who their dad. Okay, so their dad was a crazy guy. His mother was like I guess some kind of medium psychic or something, and she had told him when he was younger that he would marry a blonde woman. He would have 2 sons and then 3 daughters. Those 3 daughters would become famous musicians. So he didn't take it too seriously or whatever, but he grew up, married a blonde woman, had 2 sons, then had 3 daughters. And he realized, oh shit, it's happening. I got to do this. So he pulled his daughters out of school as they're like teenagers, 12 to I think 16 or so. And, basically just locked them in the house all day. The mom had passed away or something. Locked them in the house, bought some instruments, guitar, bass, drums, and made them sit there and play music, practice music all day long until they had dinner, did some calisthenics, went to bed for several years. And then he got them some recording time. And they recorded an album called Philosophy of the World, the Shags, with 2 G's for some reason. And it is just widely believed to be one of the worst albums ever recorded because he wasn't actually letting them listen to music. He was just like, here, make music happen. Yeah. So then, like Kurt Cobain had famously said in, early 90s that the Shags was his 3rd favorite band, which caused like a kind of a, renewed interest in them. And they actually went on to do another album as well. That the guy that recorded that one tried to convince the dad to just take his money and leave because he didn't think he should be doing that to the girls. Eventually the dad died. The girls went on to live some lives. They weren't musicians or anything like that. You know, just became family women. But as of, I guess, a few years ago anyway, they started going on tour again. Which is just it's a crazy fucking story, right? It's crazy. Also release the Epstein files. Sure. What were you?
I just sent you a song in DMs about the Epstein files.
Okay.
There's this guy Moonwalker who's just shot up on YouTube, and I think he's got like maybe a TikTok or something. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, he's all over the place, but he's doing like some really compelling music. Happy Face rocks, but he just released The List recently, which is about exactly what it sounds like it's about. Yeah, check
Finally,
that out.
this is the part of the shitty politics I've been waiting for, the protest songs.
Oh, I've got a video for you, buddy, that I've been wanting to show on stream, but I'm afraid to because it's that direct. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show it here in a minute on the way out. But there's this, The List by Moonwalker. This shit, like it started off strong and then it just has progressively won me over with how raw and fucking dirty it sounds. I love it.
Yeah, the thing I really like about this guy, that really hits for me is like he's got this kind of like I don't know, maybe it's like a little silly to be like, oh, you know, it's like no filter or whatever.
It's a manic energy for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I thought you might get a kick out of that just because like I know when you make music and stuff, you're thinking about stuff that's kind of like that. That's like relevant, social.
And like I'm hoping to be able to do Friday for my birthday on stream is like I feel like I have to return the favor, and I've got just the thing. This one, whew. The title is what it is. This is Barnaby Jones is the name of the band. And then you'll see the title here in a second.
Hello, filthy, miserable dirt peasants. I can't seem to find my very impressive castle. Maybe you...
In Minecraft. Wait, there's more.
They even painted him orange. That's crazy.
Yeah, I sorry, I can hear it.
Redacted. That's good. Good stuff. What were you saying, Ryan? Sorry,
I can hear echoing.
My bad. It might be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, I thought I was just imagining hearing my delicious voice played back to me.
Yeah, it's just a glitch. Yeah, see, stuff like that wouldn't have been too controversial 20 odd years. Well, no.
Right.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I was thinking. That there's that basically even Reagan problem. You know what I mean? Like there's just I can't see any prior president actually possibly getting upset about that if that was put in front of them. I could definitely see Trump just fucking, you know, getting bent out of shape for days and tweeting about it and calling him Antifa or whatever if somebody was like, hey, check this out.
Trump really has rotted the brains of so many people that
yeah, truly.
If Obama saw that when he was president, he'd be like, hey, I'll tell you what, those kids can sing.
I may not I don't agree that they should kill me, but I do support their right to say it.
Although, ironically, in some ways, it reminded me of the band The Presidents of the United States of America. So,
yeah, there you go.
Millions of peaches.
Should we wrap? I might have to eat at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be a shameless self-promoter if I didn't play my own shit on the way out the doors. But I'm gonna, yeah, we're gonna get off of here. You guys are lovely. Thank you for another amazing showcast. Bob Chaos, look, man, you missed out. Maybe you just need to come back next week, you know? And you guys obviously are always welcome. And subscribe to all the folks. They're always linked in the description in case unless I forget, in which case please let me know that they're not there and I shall put them there. But I think they're there. So, yep. Peace. Product is my most disliked YouTube critic of all time. He's dumbed down online film discussion beyond repair. His audience is as smart as POTUS number 47. And yeah, I don't know at what point his status as kind of the ringleader for the Friday Night Tights is like the more or less the manager. He's the kind of staff manager of these chuds, I think. And I've got a song that I've been working on about him. It's about him and other grifters as well, but it's like generally like a lot of the references in it, they refer to Nerdrotic, but there's other references as well. It is kind of a diss track, yeah, it is.
maggots ate your brains. You surrendered everyone you loved the most. So I can't wait to meet your fucking ghost. It didn't have to be this way. Pretender, you think that Christ is on your side. That's just shit you say to justify your blind faith in the oldest flaw. Tell me you're worth it all. Now that you die alone. I used to think that you were carved from stone, but you're paper, skin, and bones. Sins of the Father on his own. You're just paper, skin, and bones. Sins of the Father on his own. Just paper, skin, and bones. Sins of the Father on his own. Just paper, skin, and bones. Thank you for never failing. Darkness and weak wills till the very end. Thank you for never failing. Spineless and weak wills till the very fucking end. Defender of most vicious and depraved. There's nothing left of you to save. Commanded algorithmic fantasy. That hate was always waiting for release. D&D, I bury you before you hit the grave. Cause maggots already ate your fucking brains. Tell me was it worth it all? Now that you die alone. I used to think that you were carved from stone, but you're paper, skin, and bones. I used to think that you were carved from stone, but you're paper, skin, and bones. Sins of the Father on his own. So are we great again or what? Tell me, are we great again now? Are we great again or what? Hey, hey, hey. Oh, thank you for never failing the band. Strength and weak will till the very fucking end. Thank you for never failing the band. I'm a long way from you now. Paralyzed, just another way screaming out. I couldn't feel it. Think I could be fearless now. Take an oath, never know what you leave behind. I don't know, I'm just tired of your fucking lies. Oh, I roll the dice. See you in paradise. Fearless. Guess I'll have to wait my turn. Forgiveness is a strength I'm yet to learn. I can't bury my head under the sand and hope it makes me feel less. How the hell do I pretend? Just tell me it'll make sense in the end. I can't lie to myself. Fucks with my health. Just wanna be fearless. Fearless. Paranoid, hearing voices from above. You destroyed every piece of me I ever loved, but you didn't notice. Been trying to hold you. Used to care what you thought of me, but now I don't. Will you be there when I need you? Now I guess you won't. So roll the dice. See you in paradise. Fearless. Guess I'll have to wait my turn. Forgiveness is a strength I'm yet to learn. I can't bury my head under the sand and hope it makes me feel less. How the hell do I pretend?